What does perfect even mean? Is there even such a thing? Ooh, can we switch up all the rules and imagine a utopia? Darling, I'm just so fed up with these expectations. They keep weighing me down. My heart is begging me to get the hell out of my head. I'm gonna live inside the upside down for a minute and pretend, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, whoa, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, whoa, and if I say it enough, it gets ingrained in my head, and I start to see, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a, yeah. Yeah, I've discussed it with myself, and I'm disgusted with the way we're told to have a certain face. I stood and wait because we aren't pixels on a screen. No, we're human, we breathe. Every single thing we see curated, it's overrated. These expectations, they keep weighing me down. My heart is begging me to get the hell out of my head. I'm gonna live inside the upside down for a minute and pretend, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, and if I say it enough, it gets ingrained in my head, and I start to think, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a, yeah.
Messing with my head again. You had your heart set on me, but these feels, they come and go, and they come so easily. Tell me what it is about you that I can't forget, but you're breaking down my walls again just to set me free. Why do I, baby, why do I love the way you always leave me? Why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling? Why do I, baby, why do I love the way you always leave me? Why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling? Staying up when I go out. You gotta know I'm all yours. But when I say what's that about, you start slurring your words. Tell me why you have to seem so distant when I'm holding you. Your fingertips are drifting away, and I fucking love how it hurts. Why do I, baby, why do I love the way you always leave me? Why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling? Why do I, baby, why do I love the way you always leave me? Why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling? Why do I, baby, why do I? Why do I, baby, why do I? Why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling?
Take me in small, breathe me in and let me go. Filling the lungs inside you, and the blackened eyes make my way into your mind. Just to know what you knew. Restless every time we start locking eyes. Lost control. Take me in small, breathe me in and let me go. Sink to your heart to find you. Open up your eyes till you're blinded by the lies, so you can see what you do. Restless every time we start locking eyes. Lost control. Teardrops on the floor. The pain is over. Feel the darkness take control.
Hello and welcome to another wonderful day of Legends Esports. Today we are coming in with the LRS Draft, the Battle of the Snakes. I don't know about you guys, but I'm super hyped. I cannot wait to see these two teams. Right now we have the Tigers versus the Sharks. So we got we got two powerhouse teams actually, and it looks like they are actually ready to go to draft. So let me make a few announcements first. Don't forget on Sunday is our podcast. And Gurf has told me to inform you guys that he is doing the highlights and bloopers. So do not forget to get out your highlights, your best highlight clips, like your best pentakills, your 1v1 kills, or just your outplays in general. And then also don't forget to include some of those blooper clips of, you yourself doing something that's, not the greatest moment in your life, or other members that you have found as well. Just like I said, don't forget to do that. But I'm going to hand off to my casters so they can get this game started so we can start enjoying ourselves.
Welcome. I'm ready to go, and let's see what this draft has in store for us tonight.
Yeah, I do agree on that. I'm very excited to see what picks that Tigers and Sharks are both going to be picking. And yeah, just excited for it. So yeah.
There are definitely a few bands that I am expecting to come out tonight, but we'll see what picks are going to be able to slip through the cracks here and get things going with the Tigers taking on the Sharks. It's going to be a very interesting battle. A land mammal facing off against a fish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we've seen both these players, both side of these teams with their players before last week. And we've seen some exceptional mid laners, but not only that, but also some interesting things later throughout tonight about the junglers as well. And
Mm-hmm.
to be honest, I'm very excited to see what happens with their synergy, how well they team up well together. And this is the first week, and I just can't wait to see that.
So last week, we did see Xiaoshak and King Caterwell both claim themselves up a victory on stream. Tonight, they actually are going to be facing off against each other in game number 1, and it's going to be a battle of the mids, in my opinion, for this game, but I do think both teams have other facets that they are able to play through.
Yeah, I do agree on that. Like both mid laners are very prominent with their champions that they have, and not only that, but they've shown that they could be very good mid laners. But not only that, but I'm very interested into seeing how the top lane will work because from what I've seen, Psycho Dog. Mhm. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it is an ult.
Okay. Gotcha.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and from what
Alright,
I've been seeing,
perfect.
like Psycho Dog usually plays like he's usually a ADC, but now he's their designated top laner on Team Tiger. And so I'm very interested to see him being on tank duty, but not only that, but him going against Obletus, who usually plays very 1v9 type of champions such as Irelia and Mordekaiser. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
seeing how much that Obletus can impact the map with his 1v9 carrying, but also to see how well Psycho Dog can manage the early game and scale himself toward mid and late game as a Warren.
Mm-hmm. Well, since Bleedus does play a lot of those very, very 1v9 champs that do like to go in and fight things very, very often, I think it's going to be up to the jungler of the Tigers to make things happen there. Maybe punish that Aurelia a little bit or that Mordekaiser, depending on which ones they do pick up. But it's going to be on Nick to make things happen with his nice champion pool that he does, or with that champion pool he does have going for himself today.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I mean, both these teams have their very own like players that have their own type of styles that they want to perform, and I just can't wait to see how well or which team can outperform the other, and just see like this is the beginning of the split. I want to see how well these teams synergize well against each other, and
Mm-hmm.
just play to their utmost best and with their integrity as well.
Mm-hmm. Definitely am excited for this to take place here, but I do think the bot lanes of both sides are looking very, very strong as well. We got Mr. Liquid Core JJ here from the LCS himself taking part in Legends Esports today. It's going to be very, very fun to see him perform, and his champion pool matches the player, so we might see some crazy antics going on in the bot lane, but we'll see if Cow J and more Riley are able to deal with that supportal combat going on there.
Yeah, both Liquid Corja J and Minor Flaws going down towards the bot lane. I mean, from what we've seen from Liquid Core DJ, he's been playing very tanky champions, and he's been showing that he can perform with those tanky champions such as Alistar, Rakan, Leona. I mean, all those type of tank champions that are very good with engaging and also there for peel. And not only that, but for minor flaws, for him to be picking up these type of 80 carries, especially Vars, and not only that, but Kog'Maw, who are very prevalent in this meta right now, that are very good. Picking those champions up is great for not only the meta, but just for team comp synergy in general. Because Vars is very good at staying behind, very poking back, going to be doing a lot of damage, especially with his lethality. But also at the same time, he's going to be having a lot of peel from Liquid Core DJ as well.
And peeling is going to be very important, especially with some of the champs that some of these players do play. Like Psychodog wants to look for those engages, and it's going to be very, very important for Liquid Core JJ to actually make some of those things happen.
And with their bot laner right now on Team Tigers, from what I see, CowJ is, from what I've been seeing throughout his OP.GG, we've been seeing that he's been recently playing a lot of Enchanter champions, but he still has his pocket pick of Thresh right there. But right now, Karma seems to be the most likely option, but if not, then Thresh could possibly be pulled out, and that is a threat within itself because Thresh is a very prominent tank champion, really good for not only just gaining people out of safety, but also the CDR with his grab and his flays are just very threatening within the game. And not only that, but it seems like More Riley also is playing these very aggressive champions such as Samira and Kai'Sa, who are very mobile and tend to go in and be very aggressive. So yeah, excited to see how this bot lane reacts to both Core JJ and Minor Flaws.
Definitely. And it's going to be very, very fun to see some pop-off champs come through today. I wonder if some of these more aggressive champs are going to be let through the draft today. And it'll be very interesting to see what does happen. But we do have draft getting ready to go. And we should be able to start seeing what some players do have in store for us.
Yeah, and we do see that Tigers is going to be on the blue side. So they're going to be trying to look for a lot more objectives, especially towards down the bot side. But not only that, but we'll see how well Sharks does on weak side on the red side, and how well they can manage.
And I think a lot of teams, especially last meta, have been focused, or last split, have been focusing on that blue side. They do want the early prio picks, and blue side tended to have a very strong presence throughout most of the split.
Yeah, they seem to be banning the Nunu. That's going to be their first ban. I mean, it's a very heavy ganking jungler and very oppressive, especially around mid, and just these very awkward angles that Nunu can come in and just surprise any type of laner. So it's a very good ban.
Mention, it is also one of Pootloop's most played champions this season, so it's very, very respectful to take that away from him. But he has a lot of things in his repertoire ready to go, and we'll see what is going to be taken away. It is going to be that Yone, though, taken away from the mid lane for that mid laner in Kincaidwall, you know, one of those strong champions that's able to have some great trading patterns and very hard to play against. But I do think he has some other champs waiting in that pool as well. It is going to be that Nautilus taken away, though. No more tanks for no more tanks, but, you know, a few tanks taken away already, and Nautilus is definitely very prominent, also very easy to execute on. This is week 1, so people might not have the greatest energy as of yet, so they're maybe trying to get rid of ease of execution, but they are going to ban away that Kayn from Nick.
Yeah, the Kayn ban is very interesting. From what I've seen, he doesn't really... It's actually one of Nick's very higher played champions, and it's going to be one of his pocket picks, so getting that out of there is a really good ban. But not only that, but they're going to be getting rid of the Ezreal as well from Team Tigers. And Ezreal is very good at staying back, going to be doing a lot of poke, and you just don't want that, especially with this type of comp that Team Tigers is going to be going for later into the game. They don't want people to be dodging everything, especially Ornn. You don't want him to just be eating through that and just dodging and bobbing and weaving. But yeah, it's a very good ban from Team Tigers.
Definitely. And we'll see what the last ban is going to be here before we do get into the first pick. It is going to be that Leona taken away from CowJ, not letting him have that one. And overall, good set of bans here. Very respectful. A few comfort picks were taken away. And they are going to first pick that Morgana. It could be a flex, but I am leaning towards that jungle pick. I do think it is very, very strong there, and I think that is its strongest role as of now.
Yeah, I do agree that the Morgana will most likely be jungle, because Nick has been playing Morgana jungle very recently, but not only that. Yeah. Oh, the Zac is going to be played, though. Is being hovered? Are they going to lock it in?
It's being hovered. We still have a few seconds left on the clock before they can't pick that. But, you know, Zach, one of those champions that also has those weird gank angles that you have to ward for, that you have to be aware of. So it is a pick that I would expect Poot Loops to play. So definitely looking to see that one picked up here. They are just going a little bit over time, but we'll see if it is going to be locked in.
Yeah, Zax is going to be a very gank heavy jungler, as you know, very gank heavy. But not only that, but I'm very interested to see how well, not only that, but Nick just going to be able to spell shield any of his carries and just how well he can react with these surprise type of ganks from the Zac.
Definitely.
And we do see that Shen is going to be hovered over right now, and that has a lot of good synergy with Zac as well, just having that surprise. But not only that, but the sustain, and later towards the game of how threatening Shen is, especially with the recent buff of how well it scales with his health, with his ult, and Stand United is going to be very strong, not only from the early game, but just also later, and just how threatening it could be where it could hover over onto his allies, but also on his carries as well.
Yep. And Obletus does actually play a pretty mean Shen here. You know, pretty good win rate. Just going to say that now. And it is a very, very strong blind pick. It is very hard to counterpick that champ, but it is going to be that Karma, and I do believe that is going to be Cow J's Karma. You know, he has been playing that a lot in solo queue very recently, so we'll see if that is the pick, and it is going to be locked in as we do get into the last pick for blue side in the first phase.
Yeah, I mean, what more shields do you want? You now got a spell shield, and now you got a physical shield, and they're both
AoE
gonna
shield, crazy.
Yeah, and they're gonna be trying to shield as much as they can for their carries. This is gonna be pretty much Kalj's pocket pick right here. I mean, he's been playing Karma, just been spamming it, so can't wait to see how well he plays it against Team Sharks. But not only that, they have to be evading a lot of things, even just from Zac and Shen. But now they're going to be pulling out the Ashe Karma synergy. You know what I'm saying right here.
So they have a very, very strong bot lane picked up for themselves. Very, very poke-centric. And they also do have some decent scaling as well. The Ashe may not scale very well on her own, but she has that great kiting potential. And with the Karma amping her up the entire game, it's going to be a great bot lane duo picked up for the Tigers here. But we'll see what the last pick is here for the Sharks. And we'll see if they want to pick up that bot lane, maybe a support, because they now have granted themselves counter pick here. And for that support role, so we'll see what they are willing to pick up.
Yeah, I think they know it's like, I don't think Morgana's going to be going support because they pick Karma, and they're going to be hovering over the Jinx right here, locking it in. And Jinx is very good, especially along with the side of the Stand United from the Shen, but not only that, but the amount of peel that both Zac and Shen provide to the team. And Jinx is very good, especially later towards this game. And it seems like Sharks is going for this type of, we're going to be waiting till the late game, we're going to be tanking as much as we can for our Jinx, and just going to be healing, and Jinx is going to be our damage dealer. We're going to be relying on the Jinx right there.
So they are going to ban away that Gnar, making sure that the Shen has a pretty decent matchup for himself. I know Shen is very strong as a pick on his own, but there are a couple of niche picks that do fare very well into him, especially that Gnar. Shen doesn't really like those ranged matchups all that much, and making sure that one of the strongest ones that can also provide a lot of engage, that flexibility in the Gnar is taken away here. But it is going to be that Lulu, not allowing that Jinx Lulu bot lane to come to fruition here, and we'll see what the final ban is from the Sharks coming up in the next 30 seconds.
I mean, but do you even see CoreJJ playing those type of Enchanter champions? I mean, I feel like Lulu is like, sure, it's a very good ban and synergizes pretty well, but from what I've been seeing from CoreJJ, he's not playing those. He's playing tank, engage.
He does play it, but
he does.
Just not as much as ever.
Yeah, not as much. Like, and also seeing the Gnar ban as well, I can understand the Gnar being very good, but seeing as from what I'm seeing, Psycho Dog going to be their top laner, he's mostly been relying towards the tank already. Like, they're not going to be having to force to go into Mega Gnar, for example, but they're just already going to be building tank items, and they're going to be there and just scaling over time. But we do see that the Sylas is going to be getting banned from their mid laner most likely, and I'm very excited about that ban. I mean, you really don't want a Sylas to be taking Stand United, and here we are also going to be seeing a Thresh ban as well. So double support ban going to CoreJJ. So very excited to see what he's going to be pulling out right here, potentially on R4. But yeah, just going to be seeing what they're going to lock in.
So CoreJJ himself has been triple banned already in game number 1 up against the Tigers, so that's very interesting. But they're gonna grab King Caterwall's Vlad, and last week we saw it pop off. Well, let's see what let's see what SHK has in store for us. Last time he picked up Illusion and carried there. We'll see what the pickup is tonight up against that Vladimir. And we know King Caterwall knows what he's doing on it, so we'll see if SHK has something in store for us.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty excited to see this. I mean, Sharks, as we can tell, as I already said, they're going to be going for this late comp where they're just going to be continually scaling, while Tigers is going to be looking for the single target, pretty much. And they're going to be hovering over the Echo, and they're going to be locking it in. So that even furthers my statement of looking for the single target right here. Going to be relying on the Ash Arrow or the Bind, and just going to be wailing all on that one champion that they're after.
So one thing I've noticed about the Sharks comp here is they are all scaling champions here. I don't see a single winning lane so far.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty difficult for them towards the early game, and that's to be expected. If Sharks wants to win with this, they have to know we are going to be losing, but we're going to be trying to look for trades of any sorts, and not only that, but going to be continuously farming and going to be very proficient at it. But we do see the Jace hover, and that's going to be really threatening against Shen, because not only that, he's going to be poking a lot more, but if potentially he goes phase rush or any type of damage dealing runes, he's going to be very threatening towards the top lane. And not only that, but the amount of damage that he does along with the Eclipse and how well his build synergizes well together with his kit, he's going to be very much of a menace.
I definitely agree with that one. The Jace is going to be pretty great into the Shen, can knock him out of that Stand You United as well. And we'll see if Psycho Dog's able to perform on this pick here. And we have seen some Jaces falter in the past, but we'll see if Psycho Dog has it in. But it's looking like a Shen support.
Okay,
with
the
that
Shen
Aurelia
support.
pickup here for Obletus.
Wow. Yeah. So they pretty much, Sharks just fooled them. They bamboozled them. It was not the Shen top, but it's actually going to be a Shen support. And seeing the Shen support down at the bot lane with Jinx, I mean, they're going to be getting constantly poked by Ash Karma, but I can see it how well it's going to be towards dragons or towards any type of objectives if they do have an opportunity to look for it. And not only that, but a great way of just having that Stand United always in the reserve for the top laner, just in case that Irelia does get low.
Don't forget, Obletus is very, very comfortable on this Aurelia. He has a lot of games this split on that champion, and he definitely plays the part very, very well here. And
Yeah.
let's go see what the Tigers have in store for us here, because it's gonna be a doozy, because it was a little bit of a bamboozle coming out from the Sharks today.
Yeah, and I'm also very interested about Psycho Dog. He is actually locking in the Jace instead of any type of tanky comp. So he's trying to look for the win lane. He's actually not going to be staying back. He's wanting to go for this early aggression from him, but naturally they respond with the Irelia, and I'm very interested to see who's going to be outmaneuvering each other, who's going to be making these outplays against each other. Is it going to be the Jace or is it going to be the Irelia? And not only that, but not only that, but from I mean, go on ahead.
Oh, sorry. All right, so usually Aurelia not that great into the Jace, like into other melee she's incredible, especially in that early level 1, but the Jace can be a very scary threat with that range, with the two abilities already being stated level 1 with his transform Q. But Aurelia will start picking up slack once she hits that level 2, level 3, and it is going to be very scary for that Jace because he is relatively squishy in that ranged form, and it's going to be up to him to time that melee stance E to knock Aurelia out of her Q. Stop that reset from happening.
Yeah, and I'm very interested to see how both Morgana and Zac react to these type of top lane skirmishes, but not only that, but leaning towards the bot side as well, considering, well, one of these lanes are going to be heavily pushed up, and that's going to be the Ash Karma, obviously. And so seeing how Zac responds to that, is it, or I'm going to keep on constantly spamming down there to help my bot lane, or am I going to be constantly going up top lane to see how much he's going to win against the Jace?
And I do think that the Ash Karma, as relatively immobile as they are, is going to be a lot easier to focus down. The Jace will probably take that phase rush to give himself that extra bit of safety. So I would like to see Bootloop's focus on that bot lane, but once again, a very volatile matchup up at the top side. So we'll see where Bootloop's puts his focus.
Yeah, also towards the mid lane, I'm very excited about Echo. Echo is one of my favorite champions, not only for mid, not only for jungle, but just I remember him seeing back in the preseason or like when he was first coming out as a tank. And I'm very interested to see how well he plays Echo into Vladimir and how well King Caterwall handles the early game.
And King Caterwall, he was able to find those advantages last time we did see him back in game number 2. So we'll see if King Caterwall is able to find those advantages once again. It is ranged into melee, but Echo does have that one-shot potential. Maybe not right away, but it does definitely ramp up and will come online a little bit faster than Vladimir's build.
Yeah, and not only that, but he has a great way of just diving in and just very good for objective stealing, especially with his parallel converges and his time winder, and also his phase dive, just being able to blink towards a target and just surprising someone. And not only that, but just Hextech Protobelt or Night Harvester with that surprise burst damage is very good for Echo.
Definitely. And I do think the item was recently changed. It did gain some magic penetration, but also did lose 100 health. So the Echo will be a little bit squishier, and so will the Vladimir. But they do have that little bit of extra oomph with that M pen, gonna make things a little bit easier for them. But overall, it's looking pretty fun here for both sides. And I'm just very excited to see what both teams have in store for us today. We were expecting Psychodog to be playing a tank, but he's going to pick up that Jace. He's going to show us that he has it in him to make things happen. And he looked like an ADC player on paper, was playing some of those tanks, but we'll see if he has, mechanics to make it happen. And it is going to be one of these super fun matchups to watch. Let's hope Observer Cam does keep us up in this top side for a while, because I think that's going to be the most interesting lane to watch.
Yeah, but not only that, but this is the first week of the LRS draft with actual rosters, and so seeing how well these teammates are going to be synergizing with each other, I'm excited to see if they're going to be playing something a little bit more spicy, or they're just going to be playing passively well and just continuing to scale. And I'm excited to see how these teams manage with themselves, but also how well they deal with other teams as well.
Definitely. And, well, let's be clear about one thing. The Sharks have definitely gotten themselves the much better scaling composition with that Jinx, with that Shen, with that Vlad, with that Zek. They definitely have that scaling X factor in them, but it is going to be a relatively difficult early game to get pushed through, especially with that Morgana. I expect her to be looking for that counter jungling, or to invade that Zek, make sure he's not able to clear all his camps, and I'm expecting Psychodog to maybe apply a little bit of pressure while he does have it, and we'll see if Abletus is able to come up with some fancy moves, some fancy footwork, see if he's able to make that happen. But I'm expecting minor flaws in Liquid Core JJ to just be constantly shoved under their tower throughout most of this game, as more Riley and Cow J should just be, shoving them in and keeping them at a relatively low health so they can't really do very much.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be pretty annoying for Shen. I mean, he's going to be wanting to taunt. He wants to dash. You want to mash that E button, but it's really hard to look into, especially from more Riley and Cow J just playing these type of comps with Ashe and Karma, which is super threatening, especially towards the early game. But not only that, but from last week, King Caterwall did have some nice early game plays, and I'm excited to see if he can pull that off again. But if not, I mean, he's going to be scaling. But just having that extra advantage towards the early game would be an extra benefit to him.
Definitely. And I think King Caterwall is definitely capable of coming up with these slight advantages that he was able to just press forward, make sure he was doing damage, make sure he was outputting as much DPS as possible. And he was outputting a lot of damage last week, and I mean, look at everyone on the side of the Tigers. They're incredibly squishy. If the Vlad is able to land that Hemoplague onto just even 2 of them, they're just going to disappear in the blink of an eye. Just like that at 2 items.
I think the most important thing from Tigers is to find out who they're targeting, and during these fights not be pressured, or just having an opening to look towards Jinx, Vladimir, or Irelia, because those are going to be their squishiest targets compared to Shen and Zach, and so they need to look for those opportunities.
And with that, we are going to go over to a quick break as we do get things ready for game number 1 here. Don't forget, predictions are open. Don't forget to use your channel points to, maybe come up with a prediction, see who wins, see who you think will win this game. So we'll be right back as we do load in, and we will be right back, everyone. You don't want to miss this one. Right, everybody, welcome. Here we are, starting off week 1 of the LRS Draft, and things are looking crazy here. Tigers taking on the Sharks, and the Sharks have drafted themselves a very, very strong scaling composition for themselves, but the Tigers have drafted themselves a completely early game centric comp with that Karma, with that Jace, with that Morgana, just looking to make things happen super early, make things happen right away. And, you know, we have Psycho Dog in the top lane playing that Jace for the Tigers. We have Cocaine Cop, also known as Nick, on that Morgana. Shock on the Echo, one of Cobalt Chris's favorite champs. More Riley on that Ashe. Cow J on the Karma. And for the Sharks, they have ourselves a Bleedus on that Aurelia. Poot Loops on that Zac. King Caterwall on his signature Vladimir. We got Minor Flaws on the super strong 80 carry Jinx. And Liquid Core JJ on that Shen. Looking to, you know, use that Stand United, make things happen, make those global plays, because they definitely do have that global advantage here.
And we do see Xiaoxiao going to be walking up towards the Raptor camp right here, going to be warding it, but they already see that coming over from Team Shark right here. And not only that, but in terms of builds, both King Caterwall and Xiaoxiao are both going for the Dark Seal, which has been pretty relevant in high meta, especially with these type of mages that they're going for. And Dark Seal is just really good, and I can't wait to see how aggressive both these champions are going to be towards the mid lane. And I'm very excited to see that.
So if you did notice, Jace did actually start and pulled that wave up in the top side to give himself that little bit of an advantage, because Aurelia almost missed that minion because she was leashing. So good on Psychodog to try and create that small advantage for himself. And right now it's just a standard top side start for both the junglers here. I think Morgana is doing that double camp. Yes, she is. And she's just trying to be as efficient as possible as the Zac is looking to full clear. But we do see an engage coming in on the mid side as Vladimir taking a lot of damage, is only level 1. The Echo just taking advantage of his level lead and was able to chunk Vladimir. But don't forget, it is Vlad, but he's going in for another trade using that phase dive, driving in, and is able to barely take down the Vladimir, but that level 2 keeping him alive, letting him heal up just a little bit.
Yeah, getting that early electrocute proc was able to get him an advantage towards his lane. But we're going to be seeing King Caterwall going to be trying to grab as much as he can from his Vamp. And we do see that right now, Nick is going to be having a faster clear in terms of he's already going down towards his Raptors. And I can't wait to see. Seems like both of them are going to be trying to contest the bot Crab. And just seeing which lane is going to be having priority against each other. And seeing who can look down for the bottom Crab.
Definitely, and it definitely looked like it's going to be that bot lane of the Tigers looking to maybe rotate up for that Crab. It is spawning up here in just over 10 seconds now, and it's looking like the Shed and Jinx are not having the most fun this game. You know, Wave is pushing towards them right now, and they're trying their best to clear this out, maybe help their jungler up a little bit, but I don't think that's going to happen here as Morgana is already on the Crab ready to go.
Yeah, and not only that, but we do see that Xiaoxiao went for the early back, considering pushing in.
The Zac is contesting it. Was not able to grab that gold up, though. It was going to just go towards that Morgana as expected, and Morgana should just run straight towards that Scuttle Crab and skip those Krugs as the Zac is trying to clear up that blue buff, and Gromp trying to get some health back. But we do see Echo zone in a way that Vladimir does actually have a level disadvantage. Wasn't able to clean up those minions just yet. Should be able to grab it off of that, but it is going to be a nice double Crab here for the Morgana for Mr. Nick.
Yeah, and this is what we were expecting from Team Tigers, is to be taking advantage of the early game, and considering them grabbing double Crab is really good for Nick right here. And not only that, but in terms of just basing timers, now Nick is going to be having, in terms of a better items, but we do see that Puluz is going to be backing, trying to get an early lead in terms of items, but we do see that Nick is going to be continuing to clear farm right here. And
coming back onto the rift with that Dark Seal, but the trade on the top side looking pretty great for Aurelia. She does have that gigantic wave to trade into. Jay's going to knock her away, and Cookie's helping out, but Morgana is waiting in the wings, maybe looking to make something happen. The ward might just lead to her doom. Yes, it will. Harvest proc. Here comes the Jace, landed that Shock Blast, and the bind is going to help out a lot. It is going to be first blood for that Cocaine Top with the pool.
Yeah, very good for the top laner. And not only that, but Bleed is pushing up, considering he wants to be showing his dominance. But guess what? He's getting dominated from Nick, from Psycho Dog, and they get to take advantage of that. And with Nick having an extra kill towards the items, now after doing Gromp, he should be able to reset right here and just getting some additional items, not only from having a double scuttle, but also getting that additional kill as well.
So right now Aurelia does have that little bit of teleport advantage. Up on the top side though, Wave State not looking that great for her. It will actually push it towards her. She might lose a couple of minions, but she should be more than happy to take that. She is slightly ahead in that department, but is slightly behind because of the fact that she did give up an assist to the top laner. But she's looking for the engage here, finds that flawless duet, doing some decent damage to Jace, trying to make something happen, but that's a lot of damage from the earlier. Gonna cancel that auto attack, not able to find that kill.
That is super unfortunate for canceling the auto attack. That would have even put more pressure onto Psycho Dog. But we do see that Psycho Dog, he really cannot walk up, especially to those caster minions, because not only that, Oblivious will be able to just queue onto those and look for that early game kill onto Jace.
And the poke is definitely a lot less meaningful, especially with that Vamp Scepter sitting in her inventory. But we do see the Zac, looking for some sort of angle here on the bot side, looking towards them right here, right now. We'll see if he's able to find it, but overall, doesn't look like he's going to be able to make it happen. But here comes the teleport coming in from King Cater. We're looking for it. Here comes the shot onto the Karma. She is very caught out. Going to force the flash here. But here comes the Hemoplague. It is going to be Pootloops claiming up that kill. Teleport coming in from the Echo onto the Shen. Here comes that Parallel Convergence. Not able to find the stun. But it is going to be able to, in the end, Zac taking a lot of damage. Still as passive. But they're looking for Jinx. They're looking to take her down. Forcing the flash. And here comes King Caterwall trying to protect his 80 carry. Is he going to be able to do it? No, it is going to be a double kill for the Echo. Very, very high on health. And the Zac is going to be taken down by that smite from Cocaine Comp. And it is going to be a big win for the Tigers.
Yeah, really big win for Xiaoshock right there. And not only that, but now he has 5 stacks of Dark Seal already. And both TPs coming from both mid laners as well. But just having that early aggression from Xiaoshock was really great for Team Tigers.
Oh.
But we do see that King Caterwall
is looking for the play onto the Ashe, but he might not be able to find it. Is going to be forced to pull very early. And well played from Riley, but here comes the teleport. Fallout's Duet is going to go wide, but they aren't going to be able to find this. Ashe is stuck between a rock and a hard place. He'll be taken down by King Caterwall, claiming up that one for his first kill of the game.
Very good for them and able to take advantage of just...
Karma stopping that back away from Oblitus, and that's just going to stop her tempo from being able to return up to that top side.
Yeah. And in terms of clear right now, we do see that both junglers are going to be leaning towards the top side camps. And not only that, but Nick also got an additional Scuttle as well, and they also got Ocean Drake. So in terms of clear and in terms of CS, now Pootloops is very behind, and it's not looking very good for him. And he has to constantly be dealing with this pressure of, oh, well, this early game is not looking too good for me. We have to rely on Minor Flaws and Liquid Cortez to be doing well, and just trying to grab as much income as I can and buying their items so that it'll make it less of a struggle for them.
Well, unfortunately for them, Minor Flaws not having the greatest time, down just under 30 CS right now, 29. And the wave is just not that great. It is even for him right now, but the Ashe and Karma just constantly forcing him away from the wave, constantly not allowing him to get this farm. Has to give up a lot just to stay alive and get this XP.
Not only that, but we do see that in terms of items right now, Echo is super ahead, not only with the additional 2 stacks from the Dark Seal, but he also does have some extra ways to sustain. I mean, they both have Hexite Alternators, but in my opinion, Hexite Alternator is very good for burst damage, and that's what Xiaoshock does provide to the team. But it does seem that, not only that, but Irelia is going to be prevailing some farm over Psycho Dog right here. And not only that, but we also see Pootloops hovering towards the top side, just going to be leaning in.
He is looking
to
for
find some opportunity.
Not able to find that elastic slingshot just yet. The wave is pushing away from Oblitus, so it is given that slight advantage to Psycho Dog because he is going to be able to claim up a decent amount. But the Shroud is used from the Shen, taking a decent amount of damage from the Ashe. A nice orb walking down from him, but here comes that zap landing onto Karma. But things are just going to settle down here on the bot side for now. We do see Morgana potentially looking for something, but she is going to be spotted out by the pink ward. But they're looking to try and make something happen.
Yeah, Nick is going to be rotating down towards the bot side. Going to be looking for an invade onto Pootloops' camps right here, and we're going to be seeing him doing the both blue and ground clear right here, but also...
Oh, that's a lot of poke onto the Jinx and the Shen. Morgana just able to claim up these camps for free, but here comes the Vladimir, here comes King Caterwall, here comes the Zac, not able to find the jump, not able to find the bounce, but they're able to find the taunt and the shutdown going over to Jinx, claiming that one up on Cocaine Cup.
And that's what Minor Falls needed right there. They needed that shutdown. Not only that, but giving some additional buffs to their carry as well. So in terms of sustain, they're going to be in a little bit of a better situation, but I can see that Calgate and more Riley.
He's looking for it. Vanguard's Edge going to land onto the Jace, but she's very, very low. Both of them are taking a lot of damage, but the sustain from the Aurelia might be enough, and the Flash Auto going to claim that one for Oblitus, taking advantage of that Jace up in the top side.
And this is what I would expect for Obletus to try and 1v9 this. I mean, getting that solo kill onto Psycho Dog right there was a major help, not only to in terms of items, but to the team in general. Because right now for the early game, it's looking a little bit of a struggle, but they've been managing to come back every once in a while. But yeah, just having that 1v9 carry is essentially and very good for Team Sharks.
But Echo taking a lot of damage here from the Vladimir. Also is very, very low mana, not that much looking. And that's just some big trades from King Caterwell. Once again, able to find these slight trade patterns that he's able to make happen, even though he is on that sort of weak early game champion.
Yeah, now they just were able to obtain the Rift Charl right there from Pootlus. But I just noticed recently, but Pootlus does have a Dark Seal in his inventory right now.
Yup.
And I don't know if he wants
that
that for the extra ability or for the extra mobility. Doesn't even provide mobility. I don't even. But just having that extra stack just for the extra damage, from what I'm presuming, it's very interesting to see Pootlus pick that up. And yeah, but we do see that not only that, but Xiaoshak is already at his Hextech Rocket Belt right now, so that's going to be giving the extra magic penetration, and that's going to be very much of a threatening item towards his champions. That although they're tanky, and although Pootlus does have Merc Treads, he's going to be trying to blitz through, not only through Pootlus, but he's going to be trying to get to Minor Floss with that Rocket Belt active.
And Minor Floss still down just under 4 or just under 30 CS once again, but you know, he was able to pick up that shutdown, helping him out a little bit. He's not as far behind, but the Flawless Duet going to land on the Jace. Looking for the play is that Aurelia, and Obletus is probably just going to get another solo kill once again up in that top side. And here comes
the way
Zach.
he was able to manage
onto the Karma, and that Ashe was able to find an arrow, but it didn't do anything. And Jinx is a little weak right now, going to get slowed down by that Ashe, but they're looking for something. Zach might just walk into the Morgana, getting rooted, getting slowed by that pool, taking some decent damage, but they're not able to find that much. But King Caterwell going to be stunned up by the Echo, and Xiaoshak is looking for the play, but here comes the Hemo Plague onto him. Still has that ultimate ready to go, still has that rewind time, but it is going to be Vladimir winning out on that trade slightly because of the usage of his Hemo Plague.
Yeah, seeing the both top and bot side going to be able to get some kills onto
some decent damage onto the Echo, but Morgana is going to have to back away from this dragon because there are 3 of them on it, and it was almost stolen, but it is going to be that Smite claiming that one up for Pootlus.
Yeah, it's very unexpected to see that Ashe and Karma actually were dying. It's like you wanted to see them with this early game priority, but now it's turned into a situation.
On the Jace, sorry to hold that thought, but Jace getting TP'd on as well. Aurelia just looking to get another solo kill, running away from that teleport. Echo maybe trying to find something. Xiaoshak looking to make something happen here. Is he going to be able to do it? That is the question, but the Vladimir was able to TP, make something happen. The Hextech Alternator doing a lot of work. Hextech Rocket Belt, my bad. But it is going to be a potential solo kill for Echo. Is able to find it. Here comes that rewind time, and Aurelia is still trying to make things happen, but Morgana is in the back pocket. Is she going to look for the play? That is the question, and she is looking for it. She's going for it. She's dashing for it, looking for that play. Does not have the Flawless Duet just yet. And she is going to be able to have it in just 2 seconds, trying to dodge out of everything, but the Soul Shackle slowing her down. She's going to find that stun under the tower, but it is going to be shut down for the Echo, for Xiaoshak, once again, coming up huge.
Yeah, and while they were exchanging a lot of things towards the top side, look at the bot lane. I mean, they're going to be grabbing first tower as fast as they can, and not only that, but the Ashe and Karma that was supposed to be prevailing over the early game is now being prevailed by Minor Flaws and Liquid Core JJ.
But in exchange for that, Xiaoshak, 4-0, up just under 30 CS right now. Very, very strong, but the Jace not having the greatest time, looking like the correct pick here.
And not only that, but I do see that Xiaoshak is going to be picking up the Merc Treads because this team has a very good amount of CC from the Zac, from the Shenton, from some extra slows, and it's going to be very threatening for Xiaoshak. And he wants to be reducing as much CC as he can, but not only that, he's going to be picking up the Magites as well. Already has 9 stacks on it. And I do see that he has a recurve bow.
Yeah,
I do see he has a recurve bow.
Yeah. Probably looking towards the Nash's Tooth.
Yeah.
But the Aurelia has that Blade of the Rune King, but is definitely very behind the curve, considering how strong Xiaoshak is. She may have 3 kills to her name, but Xiaoshak looking to was able to claim up a lot of gold, especially in these big fights happening, and he was able to claim that shutdown onto Obletus, I believe.
Yeah, and we do say that Pootloops is going to be hovering over towards the top side, but not only that, Liquid Core JJ is also here, possibly looking for a dive, and not only that, but Xiaoshak has no TP. So they can't
Oh,
even
they're
look to
looking.
help him
Top's
right here.
gonna go wide. The
Not.
knockaway is gonna look for something, but here's the Flash Vanguard's edge onto the Jace. Here comes Stand United, and the Flawless Duo gonna land, and this is just gonna be a very, very dead Jace under his tier 2.
Yeah, and that was very cleanly played from Oblivious. Going to be able to get this diver here, but we do see
Oh,
Zhao Zhao going to be going in.
Convergence onto 3, beautiful stun from him, but the Zac using that Let's Bounce to try and peel him away. But Aurelia diving into the tower, taking so much damage, not going to find that ultimate onto the Aurelia, but the phase is going to land. That's so much work, so much damage. Here comes the arrow onto the Jinx, though, on the bot side. Karma trying to make Ashe very strong, but the flash away isn't going to work. The Jinx looking for the play, is going to find it. No, it's not. The shield keeping her just barely alive, but the flash was looking strong, but both of them have flash, but Morgana has returned on the bot side, using that Soul Shackles, keeping her locked down, and it's going to be a shutdown for Cocaine Cup.
Very well played from Xiaoshak, and not only that, but towards the bot lane as well. The way Xiaoshak was able to outmaneuver all 3 of those champions and be able to get that triple stamp. But not only that, but finding the right pick onto Oblivious. But we also saw that more Riley and J being able to get a good pick onto Minor Floss, and Minor Floss has no flash anymore. So that is definitely a priority to look onto, especially from Xiaoshak, especially from Nick. They're going to be trying to land as much CC as they can, and it's going to be super dangerous for Minor Floss to even walk up at all.
Completely agree with you. And Minor Flaws was almost able to turn that into a 1v2, but with the appearance of Cocaine Cup making things happen, he was able to stun up that Jinx, keep her in place, slow her down, stop that last auto from hitting, making sure that Minor Flaws was not able to turn that fight.
Yeah, in terms of vision right now, we do see that the blue team, or we do see that Tigers, is going to be having a lot of vision towards the boss side, because not only that, we do see that in 50 seconds, the Infernal Drake is going to be coming up, and grabbing that is going to be amplifying their damage, and especially synergized as well with Echo. Especially with 13 stacks of Magice, having the Hextech Rocket Belt, and building into Nash 2, which synergizes his passive, and just getting to that passive to proc a lot more. But we do see that not only that, but J and more Riley are going to be looking towards the Rift Herald, possibly going to be sending it mid or top depending on where they want to send it, to put as much pressure as they can towards the enemy team, and just going to be looking for the opportunity for Dragon Spell.
I think at this point, it is going to look like most of the pressure on the bot side is definitely towards the Sharks right now. But Echo looking for the play onto the Shen, doing some decent damage, and Vladimir might be caught out here, taking a decent amount of damage. Here comes that parallel convergence onto 2 once again, but he is just not going to be able to shred through that Zac just yet. Not as strong as he could be, but that accelerated shock blast going to land and do some decent damage as well.
Yeah, not only that, but Echo's mobility, just being able to do stuns, not only that, but do extra damage dealing, but even able to move around throughout all of those enemy teams is going to be super insane of how well he's not only has he been playing, but how well he's going to be continuing to scale later towards the game.
And Xiaoshock was able to chunk both Liquid Core JJ and Poot Loops. He wasn't able to kill either of them, but he was able to chunk them out, make sure they weren't able to show up for that dragon. But it did look like that the Sharks had pressure there, but they just weren't able to walk up because their 2 tanks just got shredded by 1 Echo on his own.
Yeah, we do see right here Team Tigers is going to be ahead by 2K right now. And in terms of advantages, I mean, look how insane Xiaoshak is playing right now, especially from his early game, getting that early pressure onto King Caterwall. But not only that, but his TP towards the bot lane, being able to get some more benefits out of himself. And not only that, but just his roaming timers of looking for opportunities to make things for himself has been very good for him. But I can't wait to see how Team Shark reacts to this later towards the game. I mean, we do see that all these team members are trying to scale as much as they can to see how well they'll be later towards the game.
Definitely. And right now, the Sharks just not able to find anything just yet. King Caterwall is behind quite a bit. 20 CS down, also 4 kills as well. Oblivious is itemizing towards that very, very lifesteal-oriented build, building towards that Immortal Shield Bow sitting on that Noon Quiver and Vamp Scepter, looking to lifesteal his way into a victory here. But we'll see if that's enough to make sure the Echo cannot take him down. But right now, it's looking like the Echo is the biggest threat on the entire team.
Yeah, and I do expect some anti-healing items from Team Tigers, because especially from the Vladimir, but not only that, from the Immortal Shield, but as well from the healing that is given to Irelia. We want to prevent as much healing as they can, so I do hope that J could potentially pick up a Kentep Putrefier to save some gold for his teammates to stop building some anti-healing items. But not only that, but we see-
Parallel Converge is going to land on the Jinx, taking so much damage. Here comes the Stand United. Is she going to be able to make it alive? Yes, that Gale Force keeping her alive. And Echo able to run away with his ultimate, keeping himself very, very happy about that one.
yeah,
And just able to get a gigantic chunk.
Yeah. Oh, we do see Pool's gonna be
looking
going
on the
in.
Jace, that Black Shield able to keep him alive. The Charlier's Reverie is there as well. But here comes the Irelia landing that flawless duet. Morgana gonna use that stopwatch, keeping herself alive. Here comes the Parallel Convergence. It's gonna do so much work, but Irelia gets stunned up under the tower, taking so much damage, and Echo just making mad things happen on the backside of this one. Echo gonna find that kill onto the Jinx with that passive proc and doing so much work, but Vladimir trying his heart out, not gonna be able to dash away from this one, and it is just gonna be a free kill for the Echo, and Zach,
Xiaosha.
a little too far. Xiaosha just popping off, making things happen. This man is a monster, and this is looking like a free bear.
Now at 23 stacks of Magi, super insane of how much ability power he has right now, held within his champion. But not only that, but it's super unfortunate for Minor Flaws because he's not going to be able to produce as much damage, and his flash wasn't even, it was barely up to try and evade as much as he can from the Echo Karma. But it just couldn't happen, and they were just able to run them down through the mid lane, and now they're going to be able to attain Baron right here. And not only that, minute and 40, Dragon's going to be coming up, so they're going to be trying to get as much pressure as they can towards the bot side.
Just pushing in these minion waves. Wave states are looking pretty good for them as well. They have the top side pushing, they have that bot side pushing, and they're just going to make that even faster with their Baron up minions.
And not only that, but it seems like Psycho Dog was able to obtain some kills as well, so he's going to be trying to get himself back towards his game and trying to match with Oblivious right now. And yeah, just getting him back towards the game does help Team Tigers just pick themselves up. And not only that, but he's an extra damage dealer that not only Xiao Shock is concerning, but also Psycho Dog as well.
Psycho Dog not having the greatest game as of now, but he is holding his own, was able to pick up a couple of kills here and there, and just under 20 CS behind, but the Irelia is incredibly strong, was helped out a little bit, but overall, not as bad as it could be. But Echo looking for a play onto the Irelia, able to land that stun, and she's just going to be one tap before that Vanguard's Edge can even pop.
Oh, Xiao Shock, you are outperforming, and
Xiao
you're
Shock
going to be using the Chrono
onto the
Break.
Zac, but he's going to be jumped down with that Let's Bounce, but here comes that shield from the Karma, keeping him alive. Shen was able to join the fight with that Stand United, but does that mean anything? It might not. But on the top side, Vladimir looking for the 1v1 onto the Jace, not able to find anything, and the Hemo Plague healing him up just a little bit, and it is going to be potentially a kill for the Vladimir. Both of them have Phase Rush, and shut down for the Vladimir, able to find that one onto Psycho Dog.
Yeah, really good shutdown for King Caterwall. He does need as much gold as he can so he can be continually scaling to try and match his Xiao Shock. But Xiao Shock has been pretty much diving on Team Shark right here, and he's just going to repeatedly do that, and he's at full Magi stack
He's
right
looking
now.
for the Jinx. Once again, the heal is popped. Here comes the taunt. Echo taking a lot of damage. Actually going to be shut down by the Jinx, losing 10 stacks from that Magi. And the taunt just keeping him in place. Did not have that Chrono Break available.
Yeah, I mean, him being separated from his team while diving, I mean, he did it the first time. I mean, he was able to, but now the second time, and it doesn't work as well. And that's what he gets punished for. And we do see that right here. Nick and Cowj are going to be walking towards Pootloop's, trying to retrieve the top scuttle. But unfortunately, we do see that Pootloop's going to be obtaining that.
And I mean, that was one blunder from Xiao Shock, but he's playing incredibly well. I don't even think that matters. The Jinx may have gotten a little bit more gold, but she's also down 30 CS.
Yeah, I do agree on that. But just, you know, having that, preserving the 25 Magi stack is something that you want to keep. But now he's going to try to work it back up, but I don't think it should be that hard for him considering how well he's been playing. And from what I'm seeing in terms of builds right here, we do see that everyone's trying to build in towards their legendary items. We do see that Minor Flaws has the rapid fire cannon, trying to be having that extra additional range, try and stay back, but not only that, but doing some extra amplifications to his damage. And we also see the Cosmic Drive for Incantator Wall, so that does help with his mobility, especially with how well it synergizes with Phase Rush. And not only that, but in terms of warding, it seems like everything seems pretty standard, and it's just going to be a stalemate, just going to be waiting and seeing how things progress later as this game progresses.
Exactly. It's just looking like both teams are looking to try and potentially grab up this Dragon spawning up in 3 minutes. There is the Baron coming up just before, sorry, but as of now, there just isn't that much on the map to grab. It is going to be this lull state. No one should really be looking for big fights as of now because there's just nothing to fight for.
Yeah, and I do agree on that. Like, there's really nothing to look for. I mean, it's going to be taking a while for these objectives to come up, but in terms of wave priority, the blue team, Team Tigers, is
Oh,
having that wave
Zach
priority.
is looking
Oh.
for the play, gonna find that pull, but it's not gonna matter because of the Black Shield, and the Stand United was also popped because the Zach was getting shredded.
Yeah, and losing that Stand United is really threatening, and now Team Tigers can look onto Team Shark right here for not having that Stand United. So now Minor Flaws is even more of a dangerous situation, and it's probably gonna be having to force flash out of things when team fights do get pretty intense.
Oh, that accelerated shock blast doing some decent damage onto the Jinx. The Jace still has not completed his Banamune just yet, but they are just going to be able to siege onto this tower. The poke just just trying to dissuade the Sharks from walking up as of now. They just want to get some of these neutral objectives, even though their Baron has ran out. But Aurelia looking for a flank potentially. Obletus might be able to find something here. And here comes the rocket. It's going to land onto the Morgana, and we'll see if something's going to come of it, but they are just going to be able to walk away, disengage that.
Yeah, in a minute and 15 seconds, Dragon is going to be coming, or not Dragon, Baron is going to be coming up. So they're going to be resetting, trying to grab as many items as they can before this fight starts. And not only that, but I do expect that CalJ is going to be trying to ward around towards the red side to stop any initiations from Team Shark from ever looking towards his Baron. And yeah, I mean, going to be resetting, going to be grabbing as many items as they can. I do see that CalJ is going to be leaning towards a Kemtech Future Fire because of the amount of healing that King Caterwall produces. And not only that, but in terms of Xiaoshak, he now has his Void Staff, so he's going to be doing some additional Magic Pen that also synergizes well with the Hextech Rocket Belt.
Definitely. And right now, they're just trying to zone them away. The Baron is spawning up here in just under 30 seconds, or over 30 seconds as of now. But they're just trying to zone them away, get some mid-prio, make sure that the Sharks just aren't allowed to walk up. And I definitely think they have the damage, they have the AoE, but it's all on Xiaoxiao to make these big picks happen. He needs to find Minor Flaws, he needs to find King Caterwall, he needs to find Obletus, and we'll see if he's going to be able to in the next few minutes.
Yeah, finding any pick, most likely going to be Minor Flaws or King Caterwall, going to be looking for those squishy targets, is going to be the most applicable to look for, especially for Team Tiger, considering how squishy they are, and looking for those opportunities. But we do see that they're going to be hovering over Baron right here, going to be warding as much as they can. And meanwhile, Obletus is going to be pushing down the bot lane to see as much power as they can. And meanwhile, while Baron is up, 35 seconds till Dragon comes up. So are they going to be looking for the Baron, or are they going to be trying to contest for Drag as well?
30 seconds on that big objective here. Chompers are being used by that Jinx already, but they are able to find that mid-prio because of the wave clear that Tigers do have for themselves, using that Morgana, using that Jace, and the binding just going to go a little wide, almost found that Jinx, but here comes that parallel convergence, looking to zone away the members of the Sharks, but it's looking like that the Tigers just have a free route for themselves right into the Dragon Pit, and accelerated shock blast not going to land, but that's some decent damage onto Zac already. Still has the passive, but here comes that Flawless Duet onto the Echo. Vanguard's edge on the Morgana, but the Let's Bounce finding a big engage. Minor Flaws is looking to make something happen, popping off, and they aren't able to find him. Echo is still alive, but he was not able to find the pick just yet. Rarely taken down, but the Echo might be caught out. Does not have that Chrono Break available. He already used it, and it's double kill for King Caterwall. They're looking for the Echo. Are they going to be able to find it? Is the question. The taunt is going to land, but is it going to be in exchange for Shen's life? It is not, and it is going to be a free Dragon for the side of the Sharks, able to find that big engage with the help of that Zac.
Really good initiation from Pootless, and not only that, but having the Stand United from Liquid Courage J, being able to do as much AoE as they can and disrupting their positioning. But we do see the TP going to be coming in from Xiaoshak as well.
Oh, Xiaoshak might be caught out here, doing some mad damage onto the Vladimir, able to dodge that one with that phase dive, looking for the re-engage onto Zac as well, that doing so much work with that Nashor's dude, that attack speed is crazy, and it's a triple kill for him!
Wow, the solo 1v3 from Xiaoxia. He has been performing super and extremely well throughout the early game, throughout the mid game. He's been getting caught out a couple of times, but right now he is clutching through, preventing them from. They did grab the Drake, but however, they're not taking too much of advantage of it. And now we do see that Team Tigers is going to be walking up to the Baron to grab as much vision as it can, and could actually obtain it because three of them are down.
That damage onto the Aurelia from that singular auto attack from phase dive was crazy, but this is, as you said, a free Baron for the side of the Tigers, and that damage is just not okay.
Yeah, not only that, but you see that shield? Oh my god, he's gonna be going in.
Oh my goodness.
Lands the Q? No, he doesn't. He doesn't land the Q, but that is all right. He is
doesn't
sending
matter.
a message. to Team Shark that he is there. He has a presence on Summoner's Rift right here.
He can
Super
do
threatening.
whatever he wants. This man, 25 stacks on that Magi's, has the Void Staff, has the Nash's Tooth, has that Proto Belt, is able to one-tap almost everyone on the entire roster of the Sharks. And it's just looking like it's going to be a Shock show today.
Yeah, and not only that, but in terms of gold right here, we do see that Team Tigers is going to be in a 6K advantage from what I'm looking at. But not only that, in terms of builds, I mean, everything looks pretty standard. We do see that more Riley's going to be looking for not only the mobility from Phantom Dancer, but you're also going to be looking for that extra armor pen from LDR, Lord Armor's Regard, because especially with tanky champions such as Zac, such as Shen, you want to be grabbing as much armor penetration as much as you can. And we do see that not only is the Chemtech Putrefier there from CalJ, but from Nick, we also do see that the Morello is also there to further enhance healing reduction.
Ooh,
And
the
we're gonna be
move
seeing
speed
them-
is helping out. They're looking on Obletus from downtown. Here comes that parallel
TP.
convergence. Is going to use that teleport to get herself away, and Obletus is not going to be taken down before the teleport does complete. Is
The
able
Immortal
to live.
Shield
Oh,
Bow.
that
Wow.
shield bow keeping him alive. Obletus barely getting out of that one.
And we do see the final build for Xiaoshock is going to be the Lich Bane. The Lich Bane does synergize really well with his phase dive, so going to be able to proc that enhanced auto attack. But look how much damage is he going to
Oh
be doing
my
to
god,
towers.
there's minions
And-
under there as well.
Yeah, and not only that, but the shield from the parallel convergence scaling off of his AP. He is such a menace, and not only that, but Team Sharks has to be worried about him. But not only that, but the other damage dealers from Team Tigers is going to also be super threatening. But we do see that
Oh,
Xiaoshock
that was
could be
just a
hitting
quarter
the
of the HP on the inhib.
Yeah.
Third. Oh my good.
Yeah,
Oh,
and not only
forced
that, but it's on
pull
a
away
low
from the
CD.
Vladimir.
You can
It's
keep
on a
on
low
mashing.
CD. Also, Snatcher's Tooth has the attack speed, and that's just a free inhib. Echo just solo boloing that one. But they're just looking to shove out this bot wave, looking to end through mid and bot as of now. And it's just looking very, very rough. He has a good parallel convergence angle, not going to take it, but is going to zone away the entirety of the Sharks.
Yeah, Team Sharks is struggling of what they can do. They
Waves
have
are
to look
synced
for
up
some
here. They're able to get
opportunity.
2 cannons. Vladimir taking out so much damage from the Echo. Gonna be able to run away from that one, but that is not okay. Under his tower, under his tier 2, or under 2 neck turrets. And that is just a crazy amount of damage. But
Dash
the
ult.
stun is going to the Jinx. It's going to do so much work. And the Shen going to be caught up here by that binding. Vladimir trying to find something that has that Hemoplague. Is he going to be able to make it happen, though? It's looking like he is going to find Echo, but that Hemoplague doing so much work. It is going to be 3 dead. It is going to be 4 dead. But the Jace is going to fall. Echo looking to try and make something happen. He is able to make it work. Is he going to be able to do it? He is. That damage from the phase dive, that damage from his damage from everything, and that one shot, that Vladimir, that auto attack just doing so much work. That Lich Bane, that build just synergizes so well, and that's a free win for the side of the Tigers.
Xiaoshock, really well played from Team Tigers, being able to take advantage from the early game. A little bit of a struggle from Psycho Dog, but I mean, that is to be expected. I mean, Obletus was doing very well towards the early game, but not only that, but Xiaoshock, very well done with this team, and especially synergizes well with not only CalJ, but also with Nick for the shields. So really well played from them.
I can't even tell if the Sharks did enough damage to even match Echoes on his own. Chefshock did so much damage and he might have been able to do more than all of them combined. No, he is not actually. No, that is incorrect, but it was very close. There's so much damage being done by this Echo. It is crazy.
Yeah, just him but being very aggressive and finding these positions of where getting these opportunities to stun. Not only that, but finding these ways to just go under tower, rewind, gonna be at full health, and also having those damage items is super threatening from Xiaoshock, and super impressed from him. And it was a very great attempt from Team Shark to try and come back into the game. They did have some moments where they were able to find some great positioning, especially towards the later drags, with Poot Loops and Liquid Core GG having that ulti synergy. But it just turned out that Xiaoshock just TP'd in and got a free triple kill and had some opportunities and gave Team Tigers a free Baron. So very well played from him.
Shellshock just making things happen, was able to find these amazing parallel convergences, was able to find potentially 3. I think he found at least 3 triple stuns with that, and just made things happen. You know, what more can I say? Than I think Xiaoshock deserves MVP.
Yeah, I agree on. I wholeheartedly agree on that. He played super well towards the early game, and not only that, but as time continued to progress, he continued to progress towards the game as well. He didn't just stop at any point. No, he kept on going and he kept on saying that his name, his place on the field, and he just showed how much he can provide towards his team, not from like sustain or healing, but just from damage and just how much of a presence he is.
And it's just crazy. And what do you guys think, though, chat? I'm going to leave this one up to you. Let's go for a vote here. Who is going to take home player of the game? I think I know my answer. But with that, we are going to go over to a quick break as we do get set up for game number 2. Don't worry, folks. We have a pretty nice battle coming up with the Battle of the Vipers and the Rattlers taking place here. 2 snakes fighting for dominance. We'll see who takes it.
picture in my mind. You wanna leave it all behind. In a world that's turning all the time, nothing could stop me longing for your eyes. I won't let it die. I can feel you when you're not around. When the night gets cold, I won't be alone. We won't be
Okay, and your player of the game for game 1 is going to be Shock on the Echo, going 15-1 and I think 6. That was an intense game. What are you guys' comments on that game?
Well, I definitely think Shock did his job, was able to pick up that Echo and make things happen all over the map, affecting the top side, affecting the bot side, affecting everything, and just overall being like a second jungler.
Yeah. That was just intense. See him run around the map, able to one-shot his opponent really easily. Especially when it was super fed in the beginning of the game, he was just able to get on top of her and just delete her.
Yeah, not only that, but how well Team Tigers did play for the early game. I mean, that's what we all were predicting. I mean, they need to play the early game extremely well, and that's what they provided to the game. But not only that, but seeing Team Sharks having a struggle, especially from those TP plays that happened early towards the bot side, and giving Shock some early kills is what set the game for a win for Team Tigers.
Mm-hmm. No, I definitely do agree with that.
And overall, just a well-played game from the side of the Tigers. They were able to make this early game comp work, and that's exactly what we wanted to see out of them today. And I think we should be heading to draft very, very soon as the two snakes face off.
Do you have the link already?
Yes.
I do not have the link.
I can give that to you.
Shit. Okay.
Yep, this should be it. There we go. But we should be getting ready to head into the draft real quick. Things should be good to go. And it's looking very, very scary here. I mean, I know Mr. Sheep down there in that bot lane for the side of the Vipers. He's my boy. Let's see if he's able to bring it home today.
Yeah, and from what I've been recently seeing, he's been going with some pretty aggressive champions, especially Samira. But not only that, but he's been playing a little bit of some safer back champions like Zaya, and he's gonna be playing back. But seeing the Samira potentially being picked is a super threatening champion, and not only that, but having some sort of tank support, maybe Leona, Alistar, or just having any way of peeling, but also CC as well, super threatening.
Fun information
Exactly.
is that actually Sheep is the one who is teaching me how to play Samira
Okay.
and ADC in general.
Okay.
So Sheep is an incredible player and just a great guy overall, but we'll see, because Pratoga, was one of the greatest supports here in LRS, has actually moved towards that mid lane today, and we'll see if he's able to make it work. And we saw G-Dazik last week, or G-Dazik, able to pop off, make things work, but we'll see how he does into Stuck Frick Darrow and Xiao OP Jiao 88 into newbie Jung. We'll see if that happens, and Hades taking on the new mid laner Pratoga.
Yeah, I mean Pratoga, last week he was their jungler. He was a jungler. He was playing Fiddlesticks, but now he's gonna be playing as a mid laner. So seeing him switching from lanes to jungle, switching all the time, is nice to see him gonna be playing something new. But also kind of excited to see what he's gonna be picking towards the mid lane. But we also see that Rock on Tower, who is gonna be their support from what I'm guessing, and synergizing along with Awesome Sheep. I mean, from what I'm seeing with his type of champions that he's playing, he's going to be going for that CC tank champion. So I'm very happy about that and how well it synergizes with their team in general.
So if we take a look at the bans here, it is going to be a double ADC ban up against Awesome Sheep, as well as that Lilia taken away. But on the opposite side, it is going to be that Zoe and Karthus taken away, as well as that strong B1 of that Seraphine. And it is going to be that Sivir picked up here for Butters, and we'll see if he's able to make it work here with those boomerang blades, with the ricochets. And we'll see what the Vipers have in response to that. It is going to be that Cho'Gath picked up here. It could be for Pratoga, could be for Dazik. We'll see what happens. And we'll see what the next pick is here happening up in for the Vipers. So let's see what's happening there.
Yeah, seeing Viper's bans.
Okay.
Yeah. And seeing with Viper's bans, with Zoe, Karthus, and Seraphine, a lot of AoE damage going to be taken out of from the Rattlers. So getting those out of the way and how well these champions not only deal with damage, but Seraphine has a lot of sustained CC, and it's just a very strong champion, not only from support, but could also potentially be a mid laner. And getting rid of those type of champions is really good from the Vipers.
And it is going to be that Jhin picked up here for Mr. Awesome Sheep. Has that range to deal with the Sivir. Has that utility as well with the Deadly Flourish, with that ultimate as well with the Curtain Call. Able to make things happen and slow people down with his traps. Jhin pick overall might not be in the greatest spot, but up into the Sivir, there's not really much you can really do. So having that long range is definitely going to be very, very helpful. And it is going to be that Morgana potentially picked up for Newbie Jung, in my opinion. But we'll see where it is actually going to go.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see Morgana Jungle again. I mean, Morgana Jungle has been very much of a staple recently with these patches. But not only that, but there is also upcoming junglers that have been uprising, especially Rumble. But we do see the Volibear going to be locked in. Potentially could possibly be a top laner, or it could be jungle, depending if it's a Morgana mid or support. So
I do think it will be that Volibear top. However,
Volibear
mainly
top.
because Stuck Fricadero plays a lot of that champion. So I think they're trying to use it as a flex, but I do believe that it is going to be that Volibear top.
And just seeing what the Vipers are going to be picking for R3 right here. And yeah, so from what I'm seeing with these comps with Rattlers, I can see potential for, I mean, it's going to be like last game, going to be looking for a single target, especially with the Morgana bind, but with also Turbo Chemting potentially from the Volibear, going to be looking and speeding up as much as you can. And the Echo's going to be locked in again. Thank God. I am happy. I'm content.
You're a happy camper already. 2 Echo games in one night for you, Mr. Cobalt. Chris, and you're going to have a good one.
Man, Pratoga does not disappoint me. He's
no
pulling out
one's
the
disappointing
Echo.
you today. It is going to be that Lee Sin ban taken away from the Rattlers. The Lee Sin here, pretty much a flex pick at this point. Able to be used in 3 out of 4 lanes, potentially 4 if you pair it up with that Senna in the bot side. And it is going to be that Galio taken away, most likely from, could be from Rock on Tower, but could also be taken away, most likely from Rock on Tower in my opinion. I don't think it's going to be taken away from Pratoga, but I do think both of them do play it, but I do think it is going to be a more supportive Galio band away, followed up by a Nivea band taking that away from Pratoga, taken away from Big Fat Bobkins. So there's going to be a Maokai band as well. We do see that Rock on Tower definitely plays a lot of the Tree Man, and we'll see what this last pick is here for the Vipers before it sends on over to the Rattlers.
Yeah, Rattlers is pretty much going to be banning all these champions around towards the bot side. They're going to be looking for, well, especially with Awesome Sheep and Rock on Tower being a very super aggressive like bot lane duo, they're going to be trying to get rid of as much aggression as they can. So banning these champions are really good, and the Karma is going to be pulled up again. So very excited to see that with Jhin Karma. And not only that, but can't wait to see what's going to be picked for B4, B5. Not too sure what they're going to be picking for their pocket picks, but I mean, seeing Echo again, super excited.
Super happy.
Yeah, and they're going to be hovering around the Cassiopeia right now for B4. I don't know. I mean, in terms of laning phase between Echo and Cassiopeia, it seems to be, well, dodge Cassiopeia's Q, make it a lot better for yourself, and if you're able to proc your Z-Drive Resonance along with the electrocute that comes from Echo, you're going to be doing a lot of burst damage, pretty much what you did similarly to the Vladimir with Xiao Shock. I mean, Xiao Shock was able to punish Vladimir really well, and so if if Protego can do that, then he should be having ease going through Cassiopeia.
Definitely. And I think that phase, that Z Drive Resonance also does help with the Cassiopeia Miasma. You know, having that move speed to get out of that gigantic slow that she can place almost anywhere helps out a lot. But it is going to be the Lulu rounding out the comp for the Rattlers. So it is going to be that Morgana jungle, followed up by that Volibear top.
Yeah, and having Lulu going to be able to buff Sivir or Volibear, and with how much early aggression that Volibear does, especially towards his level 6, being able to tower dive and being such a very strong menace, having Lulu to have that extra shields, and not only that, but the Hugify, very good from the Lulu.
Definitely makes things a little more difficult for, you know, execution damage, but it is going to be, ooh, the Cho'Gath mid with the Echo in the jungle, and
Ooh,
a Gnar
okay.
up in that top side.
So in terms of Echo jungle, when it comes to ganking, he's actually very good, especially with that parallel convergence. Very good AoE, and you can only see it like 0.5 seconds when it's about to activate. So having that as a surprise factor and being out of vision, really good being able to, and not only that, but a stun and a shield for some, and also having that burst damage from the electrocute or dark harvest, depending on what he builds for the jungle, is going to be super threatening. But we also do know that the Morgana jungle is a very fast clearing jungler, so she's going to be having a lot more prio, but towards later in the game, Echo will scale.
And with that, we'll see where everything goes. I do think we have a solid prediction of where most of the champions are going to go, but we could be thrown a curveball. We shall see.
And I'm actually pretty excited for picking up the Gnar. And the Gnar going against the Volibear, from what I know from laning phases, is pretty much, you know, Gnar's going to be poking a lot from level 1 to 3, or continuing to do that even more. But especially in team fights, both of these top laners are very much team fighting menaces, and they're both going to be very threatening. So it's just a matter of how well the Volibear could be timing these fights when Gnar doesn't have Mega Gnar at all.
No Gnar bar means Gnar is not as useful of a champion as he could be, but overall, the Volibear is going to struggle, especially in this early laning phase. You know, basically range versus melee matchup as per usual. But what's interesting is how is this Echo going to fare into the Morgana, especially since the Echo clear speed is not known for being super great, and Morgana's clear is the best in the game.
Yeah, I mean, Echo's clear speed is not the best. I mean, they haven't done anything too much, except for that one time where they did add a bit of extra damage to his Z Drive Resonance when against Jungle Monster with a 200% damage amplification. So he can clear through Jungle Monsters later towards his game, especially with Nash's 2. He's just going to be having that additional attack speed, but not only that, but with Lichbane as well. He's going to be doing a lot of damage towards clears, and you're going to be very surprised of how well he can clear through those jungle camps.
Definitely. And I do think Echo has that great clear as he comes into that level 8, level 9 area. But Morgana will just constantly have her clear going, ticking, moving super fast. And we'll see if newbie Jung is able to use his tempo advantage to make things happen around the map earlier than Echo will be able to.
Yeah, it seems like Protego picking the Cho'Gath mid into the Cassiopeia. I mean, in terms of laning phase with that, Cho'Gath is going to be getting constantly poked. But, I mean, if he's able to handle the laning phase super well, then he should be scaling just like Echo does. I mean, especially with a huge HP tank having that. But not only having Cho'Gath as a huge HP tank, but also having Gnar, they're going to be having a lot of sustain with the Karma. And not only that, but it's going to be really hard to take them down. So they're going to have to be relying on Butters as a Sivir, just going to be having to shred through as much armor as they can.
Well, with the help of Lulu, it's not nearly as hard as it could have been, but the fact that Sivir is very short-ranged might make it a little difficult to shred through the two beefy boys drafted for the side of the Vipers here. Gnar does get relatively tanky, and Cho'Gath, depending on if he goes AP or tank, will be interesting to see. But overall here, it's looking like a sort of potentially disengagey-esque comp here coming in from both sides. Lulu's good at peeling as well as speeding people up. Cassiopeia likes to fight when she has her own terms now with the miasma, with the with the Q, with the Poisonous Cloud. Volibear also can engage, but can also disengage with his ultimate, you know, be a little bit of a scary meatball and can run away on a dime. And the Morgana, great at slowing people down, good at keeping a chase going, but also good at peeling people away. So it is going to be a relatively similar comp drafted by both teams, especially with a Karma Cho'Gath. But with that, we are going to go over... No, never mind, we're not going over to quick break. But overall, similar comps drafted from both sides, but I think it is a little bit easier for the Vipers to pull the trigger.
Yeah, I think for Vipers, it's very easy to pull the trigger, especially with having the Karma. To be able to do some shield amplification, but with also movement speed to be initiating. And also, Jin is a very mobile marksman, especially from his crit shots, having that extra mobility and movement speed. But not only that, but just having these tanks walk up, especially Cho'Gath and Gnar, is going to be very threatening. And Gnar, who's very good at initiating with the Mega Gnar, with the Stride Breaker, if he's going to be building that, and reducing slows, or reducing anyone from ever moving. And not only that, but Echo with Karma. I mean, we saw from last game how well not only the shields, but just having that extra mobility with the Z-Drive Resonance just makes him move very fast around Summoner's Rift.
And having a Karma there will just make it a lot easier. Mantra E, very helpful. And I don't feel great about the tank shredding coming in from the Rattlers here. I mean, Cassio can do very, very well into single target tanks, but the fact that they have two of them, it's going to be, on, like you said, on Butters. And Butters being relatively short ranged and not having the greatest DPS into tanks is going to make it a little bit difficult for them to actually punch through a front-to-back team fight.
Yeah, in my opinion, I think Butters should have went with the 80 carry that can actually synergize really well with Kraken Slayer instead of, you know, Sivir's looking towards a lot more into lethality, per se. I mean, for example, like a Vars, for example, could actually not only do lethality, but he could also build well into Kraken Slayer. And he's a lot more long distance range, and that does help along with how much initiation that Vipers do have. And not only that, but I do understand that Rattlers is going to be going for that anti-engage. I mean, you do see that, like, Morgana is going to be having those binds, but not only that, but Hades is also going to be having his ult as well as the miasma, going to be able to prevent people from trying to initiate as much as they can. And so that's really good for them to have some type of anti-engage, but also there is a potential of looking for a gauge. Who knows, Hades could flash in, going to be looking for it all, but also some typical binds that we're going to be seeing. I'm very excited to see how well both these teams play out to the early game and how well they can take advantages throughout the game.
And it's just gonna, I think it is gonna be an uphill battle for the Rattlers from the comp that I see drafted for themselves right now. But then again, well, we said the same thing last game. We thought the Sharks had a better comp, or at least I thought they had a better comp overall, just because it was a little more synergistic. Everyone on the Tigers was incredibly squishy, but they were able to prove us wrong. We're able to claim up those advantages in the early game, and we'll see if the Rattlers are able to do the same today. And with that, we are going to go... we are going to go to a short break. But don't forget, predictions are open in case you guys do want to, you know, place your little tokens there, place your crowns on that one. So we'll see which team does come out on top. And we shall be right back. You don't want to miss game number 2, Battle of the Serpents. Everyone, welcome. Game number 2 starting up here. Battle of the Serpents. We have the Rattlers on blue side taking on the Vipers on red. We have Stuck Frick Darrow on that Volibear for the Viper, or for the Rattlers, Newbie Jung on that Morgana, Sergeant Hades or Big Fat Bobkin on the Cassiopeia, Butters on the Sivir, and Poisonous Viper. But we do see a little bit of an invade happening here onto the Sivir. Are they going to be able to find it is the question. I don't know how great the level 1 here is. They are going to find a nice little ward there for themselves, though. But I'm going to continue with that rundown. It's going to be G Dazik on the Gnar for the Vipers, followed up by Jiao 88 on the Echo, and Pratoga on that Cho'Gath mid, followed up by Awesome Sheep on the Jhin, and Rock on Tower as that Karma. But we do see with that Grasp, it is going to be that Pratoga's opting towards that more of tank style build. Starting off with that Doran's Ring for the mana issues that the champion is known for having. But it's looking like Gnar's going to be able to find that little bit of a slow, and some early gold claimed up here for Rock on Tower.
Yeah, really good. Proccing the spell piece, going to be getting that additional gold. But we do see that throughout that entire level 1, they kept on warding, going to be getting as much vision as they can just for the information from both these junglers of what type of clear they're going to be going for. But we do see that both junglers are going to be looking for the top side clears and probably looking down towards the bot scuttle. But for me, what I predict is that Newbie jungle is very fast with clearing, especially as Morgana jungle. So she's probably going to be having priority for the bot scuttle.
And the Cho'Gath, you know, struggling as you expect in that mid lane. Taking some decent damage, but, you know, able to sustain that back up with the passive. And the Cassiopeia actually did opt to start the tier. A little greedy, even though it is into a Cho'Gath, in my opinion. But we'll see if she's able to make it work. It is able to hit that level 2 and do some decent damage.
Yeah, I mean, getting the tier early into the game is very good because you can opt it into Seraph's Embrace, and having Seraph's Embrace is very good because Cassiopeia is a very mana-heavy champion, and so getting that item is really good onto it. But if not, just having that tier for the extra mana sustain is fine within itself. But we do see that both in the bot lane with the Karma, with the Lulu, going to be poking as much as they can, and they're both very poke-heavy champions down towards the bot lane.
Spell Shield actually was not able to be procced, so Karma was able to land that spell before the Spell Shield actually did take effect, but Lulu doing some decent poke back in return, able to do a lot of damage there. And
right
you know,
now,
Cho'Gath struggling in the mid lane, just normal things.
But right now, we do see that Zhao Shop is going to be done with his Raptor Clear, going to be rotating down towards his blue buff. Not only that, but from Newbie Jung, he's already clearing. He's red. He's already done.
He's done, and there was a little bit of an engage in the top side, but not much going to come of that one. You know, both meatballs looking to make something happen, but Cho'Gath able to land that Rupture, looking for the play. Is Pratoga, is he going to be able to find it? No, he is not, but that is some big damage from that dinosaur in the mid lane.
And not only that, but we do see that Pratoga still has 2 health pots. So he still has a little bit more sustain from him, and now he's going to be at level 4.
Volibear looking for the play on to the Gnar, not able to find it, the jump away, that little hop, keeping him safe and sound. But G Dazik getting chunked a little bit here, even into the Volibear.
And we do see that Hades is going to be TPing back after that terrible trade that he just got blasted on from Pratoga. And we do see that Pratoga is going to be walking down towards the bot scuttle because now they have priority. But not only that, but we see Butters and Poisonous Viper also have priority, so they have the potential to walk up right here.
It. Are they going to be able to catch him is the main question here. He's going to be forced to walk away, has no smite.
No smite. That would be very unfortunate to concede it, and they do get it.
Yeah, the steal away. Not feeling that great for the Echo. Going to be spotted out here. Very, very unfortunate for him. And he is down already 6 creeps, 1 camp, and a little bit now. And Morgana able to claim up that scuttle on the top side.
Yeah, just like I said before last game, having the double scuttle is very good, especially not only for vision, but also having the additional XP and just negating the enemy jungler from ever looking onto things, especially towards objectives.
Cho'Gath actually walking forward, not getting hit up by the binding, but Castio going to hit that level 5, doing some mad damage already, but they're not able to kill him. Dark Harvest is procced though. Newbie Jung very happy about that one, but Volibear finding a good trade onto the Gnar up on the top side as well.
But meanwhile, we do see that Zhao Up is going to be invading and going to be looking down towards the boss lane. They don't have any war swords.
They have no idea. They have no idea. Flash forward from the Karma. Going to be able to find that route. Here comes the stun from the Parallel Convergence. It is going to land. No, the flash from Sivir keeping her alive. Not able to find that Z-Drive Resonance. And the flash. Wait, Echo very, very low. Are they going to be able to turn it? They are not. But they are going to be able to walk away from that one. All sums burned.
Yeah, I mean, the best option right now is for both the mid laner and the jungler to be resetting right here. And Drag is up, so getting that priority for both the mid lane, for both the bot lane, trying to look onto the drag, I think Team Viper has to do that play in order to get any type of advantage at all, because right now Morgana is 10 farm ahead, and not only that, but is such a menace towards the jungle and just constantly gonna be clearing. I mean, very fast shover, and I mean, like they need to find some desperation right here. But we do see that he is gonna be going down for the Krugs. I mean, that is fine. That's fine within itself. If they don't find any bot pressure at all, there's no need to rush it. So very good. But we do see that Pratoga going to be pushing in this cannon wave right here and clearing the control ward. But right now, things look pretty standard. But there was a lot of action towards the bot side. A lot of summoners being popped. So they had to be very careful about what fights they need to take and which fights to back off for.
Definitely. And if you take a look at the mid lane, though, the CS discrepancy has grown since we last took a look there. 49 to 29, down 20 CS is that Cho'Gath, but that is expected into this ranged matchup here, not having the greatest of times here. But it looks like the Volibear is actually up 10 CS. He's looking for the play. Gonna be tanking up a tower shot, not able to find it. But here comes that little bit of damage from the shield, doing a decent chunk to that Gnar.
Yeah, and right now we do see that Dazik had to force himself to the play to steel caps in order to have a little bit more sustain, especially with how aggressive Volibear has been. But we're going to be seeing towards the boss side. We do see a very heavy wave going to be pushed down there towards the blue side, and hopefully having some priority again for the dragon. But Pratoga is getting constantly poked.
Pratoga's looking for something, doing some decent damage though to Cho'Gath, doing a decent amount of work, but the Conqueror is procced for the Cassiopeia. Might be able to find the solo Bolo, and she is going to be able to claim first blood onto the Cho'Gath. Flash forward from both of them.
Really good Hades from being able to dodge the knockup with his flash and going to be able to have that extra poison damage to be able to get the kill onto Pratoga right there. We do see that Zhao Op and Rock on Tower are going to be trying to recover this wave and not only letting him crash into the tower, mostly because it's a waste of XP. You don't want to let it go to waste. So grabbing as much as you can for the jungler is really
Karma
good.
looking to make something happen on the Morgana, able to find the Raptors. Is she? But she's stuck in the middle of no man's land. But the Soul Shackles are going to be used, and she's going to be able to stun up only the Karma. But Echo stuck on the wrong side of the map. But Cassio has no mana, but the Volibear TPing in, looking to find that Stormbreaker smites the red buff to keep himself alive. But Volibear's caught on the wrong side now, going to be forced to flash away. But Dazik is going to be there to make sure the Volibear can't get away, and the Feast going to claim that kill.
The Pratoga bite, but we do see that
still looking for
Dazik.
more. Is he going to be able to find it? The stun going to land from that Cassiopeia, and it's going to keep that little Morgana alive.
Yeah, but right now we do see that in terms of farm, I mean, Awesome Sheep is still keeping up, even though that nothing has been really going. I mean, especially towards the mid lane, there was a lot of action going on, but getting that solo XP, getting that solo gold is really good for Awesome Sheep. Going to be getting to his items faster. We do see that Team Viper is going to be rotating down for this first Drake and trying to obtain it.
They are taking this vision, trying to make sure they are able to clear out some boards, trying to pull it away. Morgana's not going to be there in time, so they are just going to give this one look towards that top side.
Oh my gosh, I almost saw a double pickaxe from Butters for a second. I almost saw that for a second, but thank God he's building into his new quiver. Thank God, what a save right there from himself.
That was a good save from him, making sure he's not going to screw his build over just a little bit. But it is going to be very even power from both of these AD carries right now. Both of them sitting on almost Noon Quiver components. Does have that boots, though, in the back pocket of Butters, but Sheep is sitting on that Noon Quiver pickaxe.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of everything right now, getting that extra assist for Zhao or just getting any type of way of trying to get a lead against Morgana is really good. And especially when these type of champions scaling later into the game, they want to gain as much as they can. So grabbing that drag, grabbing that additional kill was really good for Team Viper.
Yep. And the CS discrepancy has moved over to 24 for the side of Mr. Hades in that mid lane on the Cassiopeia. Very happy to just keep CS and keep farm and just keep shutting this Cho'Gath down. And these trades are just unfair for this little dinosaur in the mid lane.
Yeah, I mean, we expected this. I mean, range versus melee. I mean, he can only do so much except for trying to get a nice knockup or try to bite him. But we do see that Hades just constantly poking.
Constantly pressuring, but the knockup going to land. Rupture is going to land. Silence, but the stun going to make sure Cassio is able to do some decent damage. Miasma is there to keep him slowed down, and it's going to be another solo kill for Hades.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we expected from Hades. Just constantly poking, gonna be able to stop any type of initiation with that with the miasma, and gonna be getting that kill as well. We do see that
Mm-hmm.
right here. Nobody jungle is gonna be rotating towards the boss side, trying to look for any type of opportunity, but gonna be walking back up, trying to look for any invade. But in terms of top lane right now, I mean, things look pretty standard. I mean, they're both trying to farm as much as they can, but not only that, but do some minor pokes to each other. But yeah, it's looking pretty standard, but a lot of action has been heavily towards mid, and whenever anything happens towards the boss side, Awesome Sheep is just going to keep on trying to grab solo XP, but in terms of farm right now, he is ahead by a whole wave, which is really good for Awesome Sheep.
Mm-hmm. He is in a happy spot right now. Just very happy to pick up this farm on his own. Now he has that Karma just keeping him alive. And they're looking for the play on the Lulu. That damage is coming through. Here comes the root. Are they going to be able to find it is the question. And the Polymorph is going to come through, but the Dark Harvest picked up by Awesome Sheep. Very happy about that trade.
Yeah, really good from Awesome Sheep and Rock on Tower to keep on constantly poking. I mean, both of these champions, Lulu and Karma, poke, but it does seem like Rock on Tower is having a lot more fun with it, getting the W. But the spell shield, though, does come on time. But we do see that Pratoga.
Pratoga taking some decent damage here. The Conqueror is procced, and Cassiopeia very happy to just keep taking these trades. And Volibear is there. Echo is there as well, but he's going to be stunned up by the bear himself. The shield coming through. Is Echo going to be able to get out alive? That is the question. He has that rewind time available to him, but Cho'Gath stuck in the middle of the pit, has no flash. Trying to do his best, trying to survive, trying to make it happen, but it's going to be Newbie Jung claiming that kill.
Yeah, Pratoga walking him way too far, especially with that first time losing his
Burn
flash.
on the bottom side, though. Jin doing some mad damage onto the Lulu. Are they going to be able to find it? Here comes that Hugify onto the Sivir, keeping her alive, but I don't think that was necessary.
Yeah, I don't think it was necessary, and I mean, just talking about from Pratoga's positioning has been very off this game, especially with losing his flash, and these other 2 times of dying has been really much of a hindrance for him. So every time he walks up and doesn't have a flash, he's just going to be getting punished, constantly punished by it. And right now, a minute and 15 till Dragon comes up, so right now the blue team is going to be wanting to look for that, especially with how much pressure there is towards the mid lane, and always going to be able to walk down.
Ooh. Stopping the base from Butters is going to definitely help out Awesome Sheep here, forcing him to stay for an extra wave. But the Volibear looking for the play onto the Mininar, who just transformed back into that small little rat. Hop away is going to mean he's able to stay alive. The Stormbreaker is available. He's not going to continue the chase.
Yeah, I mean, right now we do see that towards the mid lane. Now he's behind by 40 farm.
Oh, flash forward. Is he going to be able to find? Here comes the Stormbringer flashing away. Is that little Gnar? But is the Volibear going to be able to find the solo Bolo? It's actually going to be the Gnar able to claim that kill with the Hyper Proc.
Wow, very good
from
flash.
G-Dazik.
Yeah, very good flash from G-Daisy to be able to reduce any type of damage or getting no damage at all from the Volibear ult. And she could be able to evade as much as he can and just constantly poking as Mini Gnar. So having the extra mobility, just kiting constantly, was really well played from G-Dazik. And Drag is going to be coming up in 15 seconds, and we do see that Team Rattlers is going to be walking out, trying to gain as much pressure as they can towards this Dragon. And we do see that Poison Viper and Nobody Jungle are going to be around here towards the bot lane.
We definitely see that the pressure is being, outputted by the jungler and support of them, but they are able to find a flank onto the Karma, onto the Jhin. Here comes the Petrine Gaze, not going to land the stun, but the slow is. Here comes the Gale Force, here comes the heal, keeping them both alive. The bot lane still looking to make something happen. The Volibear has to keep beat down. Is he going to be able to make it happen? No, he is not. But it is going to be Echo caught out in the middle of nowhere. But here comes that Chronos break. He's able to stay alive, and here comes Nari able to claim that shutdown on the backside. The Volibear is just solo boloing the Jhin. And he's going to be taken down, flash away from the Lulu, but Morgana finding his soul shackles on to no one, and she's going to be taken down on the wrong side of the jungle, and that's going to be a Dragon for the side of the Vipers, able to find a good comeback here.
Yeah, Zhao really well played, being able to hold his Chrono Break until the last second and going to be having a lot of sustain. And now he's practically at full health, but also Newbie Jungle is also dead. So going to be able to get that second drag is really good for Team Viper right here.
Yep. Getting the Drake stacking, especially with the better scaling team, is very, very important. And it's on the side of the Rattlers to make things happen early. And they have been doing so very, very well. But the Vipers are finding these opportunities, are able to find these Dragons, and Drake stacking as the late game scaling team, that is a very, very good look for the side of the Vipers.
Yeah, I mean, from both these, especially from Newbie Jungle and Poison's Viper, trying to look in towards their bot lane jungle, trying to look into way of cheesing them, but it just backfired on them, and Echo was able to get out. But not only that, but Newbie Jungle was in a very bad positioning and just had to force Zonya's ult, and really bad look for it. And they were able to take advantage on it. Team Viper played that very well played. But in terms of builds, we do see that Newbie Jungle and Hades both had the Leandries, both like burning things, especially burning these type of tank champions, the Mega Gnar, and not only that for Toga as well. And just having that burn damage is really good. We do see that Stuck Frick Darrow is going to be going for the Turbo Chem tank with that extra mobility and also being very tanky as well. And yeah, Butters is not going to be going for the lethality build, thank God, because it would have been really hard. So having that lethal
it would
tempo,
have been pretty unplayable.
yeah, having that lethal tempo, having the Kraken Slayer, going to be having that attack speed massively, and just going to be shredding through as much armor as she can. I really hope that she builds IE or maybe LDR throughout later in the build. And if not, her second item could possibly be Essence Reaver, because she does use a lot of mana. So having that Essence Reaver going to be very good for sustaining. But later in the game, I do hope that she builds a lot of armor pen, considering how much tank there is on Team Viper.
And what I expect here from Pratoga is I expect him to build a Force of Nature, because a lot of the damage that's going to be really hurting him right now is coming from both the Cassiopeia and the Morgana, both sitting on that Leandries, but able to find the Rupture onto the Cassiopeia, but the Spell Shield is there, slowing him down. The Miasma, keeping him in place. The Root is going to land, and he's just going to be taken down by one or the other. And the Fail Flash, he is just standing there, and the Petrifying Gaze is going to land on the Dazik, going to be taken down by Cassiopeia, and that was just very, very unfortunate.
Yeah, from Pratoga, this is a matter of repetition of just walking up, thinking knocking up, and saying, "Hey, I'm a tank," but then as soon as he goes in, he's like, "Oh man, wait, actually, I changed my mind. I can't do this. I can't do this." And that's just was showing repeatedly from Pratoga, and not only that, but the failed flash. So the next 5 minutes of this game, he's gonna be suffering.
They're looking for a dive. They're looking for a dive on the bot side. Cassio is there. Morgana is there. Are they going to be able to find it? They're looking. Here comes that Sivir on the hunt, but that's so much damage onto her, forcing the Hugify, but it's going to be the Karma falling down. He's trying to trade it, but Sheep is going to be taken down as well.
Really good dive from both Newbie Jungle and Hades. Going to be getting that bind onto Rock on Tower, but not only that, but going to be doing as much damage as they can onto Awesome Sheep. And Awesome Sheep, who is supposed to be their carry right now, is suffering from the rest of the other lanes, and it's been really hard for him to try and look for any opportunities for himself, mostly because everything else that's happening in the other lanes is just really hard to look to take any advantage. I mean, he is not the Jin is not the best at clearing plates and not good at clearing towers, so anytime he tries to walk up, he has to wait for 4 shots, has to reload, and it's just a pain to go through, especially when you're just by yourself.
Definitely. And normally I'd say, hey, that's fine, you're getting dove, but we're making things happen on the other side of the map. But unfortunately, the Vipers are not able to find these advantages. They just lost their top tower as well, even with that dive happening. And Pratoga is just not able to make things happen, down 50 CS and 3 kills, just not having the greatest game here.
Yeah, and it seems like for Team Rattlers, they've been playing extremely well, especially Hades taking advantage of the positioning. But not only that, but when it comes to team fighting, she clutched through. And not only that, but Butters and Poisonous Viper, all these champions are going to continuously scale. But let's just hope that Team Viper needs to scale as well. I mean, they do have Echo, they have Cho'Gath, they have these type of very hard damage champions that are very threatening. But it just seems like right now that Team Rattlers is taking over the entire Summoner's Rift map.
They're just making these rotations, making it look easy. But here comes the Parallel Convergence, not going to land on the Volibear, doing some decent damage. However, they're looking to make something happen, but they just don't have the damage.
Yeah, in terms of timers right now, we do see that 20 seconds in, or 23 seconds, I should say, the Dragon is going to be coming up. So we do see that Team Rattlers is going to be pushing in towards the bot jungle, going to be grabbing as much vision as they can, going to be lining it up, and just seeing that, hey, if they can walk, if Team Viper can't walk out at all. But we do see that Zhao Op is going to be responding with grabbing the Rift Herald and seeing if they can find any opportunities of pushing that through mid, maybe through bot lane, because considering how low it is right now, and trying to get that over with. But they just want to find some way to exchange. But we do see that Zhao Op is going to be hovering around towards the top side alongside with Rock on Tower to see if
they have that Rift Herald available to them. They're looking to just use that Herald to get some pressure, but the teleport coming through from the Cassiopeia. But they are going to be able to claim this tower, however, in exchange for that teleport. And even though the teleport came through, it's not going to fall! They're able to make sure the Rift Herald doesn't get that last auto off, and they're trading that for their entire bot side jungle and a dragon. Things are not going to plan.
Yeah, I think one positive thing. Oh, they're gonna be looking onto Hades
And
right
looking
now.
for the play. Schreiber going to land on the Cassiopeia. The Petrine Gaze is not used just yet. It is going to land a stun on 2. Forcing the flash is that Rupture from Protoga. And they are able to claim a Summoner's spell, but that is just a consolation prize.
Yeah, and I think one positive thing about Viper's team is that what they were able to do, especially with the taking advantage of the two dragons early game, was very
they're
good
looking
for
for
both
play
of
on
them.
the
But they're
volley
gonna be
there.
going in.
Going to land the Gnar, but the Stormbreaker are going to take him out to safety.
Yeah, but having that early 2 dragons is what saves them from making it a soul point, for example. I mean, this would have been a lot worse if they didn't get those 2 drags. And finding those picks from the early game was really good, but now it just seems like later in the game, it's just been harder and harder to look for those picks.
Definitely. They just don't have the damage because they are almost 3k behind right now. Just can't take anyone down. Just struggling to actually do the damage.
Is that the Leandres I see from Xiaoa?
Yes, it is. But they look for the dive on the Sivir. Able to silence her, but here comes the Hugify keeping that Sivir alive. But she is still alive, almost taken down. But Nara's just burning in that black pool. And he's going to be taken down by the Morgana. Cho'Gath's going to be taken out as well. But it's Echo looking for the play. Shao Up is not going to be able to find it. He's polymorphed. He's rooted. He's taken down. And Karma trying her best to run away. Run with her life. Oh, but she's going to be taken down by the little Lulu. And it is going to be Poison Viper claiming the first kill in Portal Combat.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Zhao could have done a little bit more damage if it was Leandres. I don't know. It just seems like there's only one tank in their comp, in Rattler's comp, is as the Volibear that is of concern. But other than that, having the Hextech Protobow or like Night Harvester would have been so much better to clear out these type of squishy
21
laners.
minute Baron.
But yeah, we do see that right here. Team Rattler is going to be looking onto the Baron right here. And Awesome Sheik going to be walking up and the TP.
Teleport coming through from Protoga and the Gnar. Not Protoga, actually, but here comes the curtain call opening up on that Lulu. Gnar is there, but so is Cho'Gath. They're going to be able to take her down. The little Lulu is taken down. That Yordle taken down to Pound Town. There goes the root. There goes the Rupture, and it's going to be a shutdown for Cho'Gath using that Feast.
Yeah, really good of how well Viper did respond to them. Going to be, from Rattler, is going to be trying to grab the Baron, but we do see...
Out of there.
Oh my god.
The Cassiopeia is just split pushing down on the bot side, though, able to claim up something in exchange for what happened in that bot side. But right now, Volibear is looking to maybe dissuade that Baron take from happening. They have Sivir Poke, they have the Boomerang Blades. Are they going to be able to do it? Cho'Gath has no Feast, but they're just zoning them. But they're looking for the engage on the Sivir. On the hunt has been used. Volibear trying to peel it away, but here comes the Root, the Deadly Flourish landing on that Volibear. Here comes the Stormbreaker, keeping him into safety. The Cassio has joined the fight. She's doing so much damage, but it is going to be that Gale Force auto from the Sheik claiming that kill. Echo still alive, using that Chrono Break to keep himself alive, and that is going to be a disengage from the Vipers, claiming up a kill on the back end.
Yeah, great attempt for them trying to stop the Baron, but however, Stuck Frigdaro did unfortunately have to die in order to prevent them from getting the Baron. We do see that in terms of waves right now, the blue side does have a lot of priority, but in terms of farm, I mean, they're going to be trying to accumulate as much gold as they can, and not only that, but G-Daisy is going to be about 20 farm ahead of Stuck. But we're going to be seeing Zhao right here.
The Miasma doing so much work onto Echo, the Polymorph keeping him stuck in place, and it is going to be another kill for Sergeant Hades.
Yeah, really good way to capitalize on their positioning right there. And not only that, but a minute is going to be coming up till drag, so they're going to be wanting that Infernal Drake because that's going to give them 2 damage amplification dragons, and that's really good, especially for Butters, especially for newbie jungle, and also Hades as well. But in terms of builds, we also do see that now Hades now has his Rylai's, which does amplify himself with the Leandres, and also has Stopwatch just in case he's ever in a pickle and is ever in trouble.
Yep, things are looking very, very interesting here from the side of Vipers, though. Positioning has been an issue so far throughout the game, however. Right now, we do see they might be able to find the Volibear. There's going to be taking some decent damage from the Gnar, but the Bone Plating keeping himself alive.
Yeah, we do see that Team Rattlers is going to be walking up towards the river right here. Going to be trying to gain as much priority towards Dragon as they can. But we also see that Team Viper is also going to be responding, and G Daisy is now at Mega
Narbar has
Narfarm
been
popping the
popped early as
Shrelas.
it's been used. They're looking for the play, but the Nara slowed down the Miasma, keeping him slow to the bone. But he is going to be able to walk away from this one. He's looking to try and zone. They are going to try and burst this dragon, but he's going to be hit by the root. He's going to be taken down, taking so much damage. Dark Harvest, he's going to flash away, but is that taking damage going to be enough? Here comes the Volibear, the Stormbreaker not going to land, but he's in the back line doing so much work. Echo going to be taken down by the Sergeant Hades himself, and they're going to be able to claim up this dragon. 2 Infernals for them.
Yeah, G Daisy walking way too far, but is Protego going to be going for the bite?
He's looking for it! Oh, and he's not going to be able to find it! Polly, he's stuck in the middle of no man's land, going to be taken down. And they're looking for the Baron.
3 of these flashes from Protego have been so bad for him. I mean, one time he had to position away from Hades, but not only that, but another one from a fail from the terrain from the mid lane to flash through, but not only that, but trying to go for that flash steal with the bite, which is unfortunate, and it did not succeed.
Oh, Cassiopeia been rooted up. He might be looking for the play onto her. Here comes the curtain call, forcing the flash from the Cassiopeia. Hades forced the flash away. Here comes that Miasma, keeping that Karma in place, but it is going to be in exchange for Baron. Curtain call not available for the steal anymore. Nars looking for a Strikebreaker 4. Stun from the Petrifying Graze. Is it going to mean enough? Here comes the Sniper on the hunt is used, keeping them moving fast. Relays as well. And they are looking to disengage this one. Jin is very fast, however, looking to make something happen. But that single poisonous bite from that Cassiopeia getting so much damage to Awesome Sheep.
Yeah, really good way of taking advantage from their positioning, and not only that, but being able to get a second Inferno Drake and also getting a Baron. Now they're ahead by 7.6k. That is a lot of gold. That's pretty much like 2 mythic items just have in your inventory, and now they're going to be spreading that throughout the team. And not only that, but in terms of builds, everyone is looking very stacked, especially Hades. Hades is constantly pushing through with his ability haste items, and not only that, with his ability power, but just being able to use that miasma to get through their positioning, gonna be taking advantage of it. And not only that, Protego has no more flash, so it's even more of a struggle towards him later in the game, and really hard for them to initiate, especially from Team Viper. But Team Rattlers is just going to be keep on doing what they usually do, getting prio on these side lanes, and not only that, but just having this oppressive pressure put onto Team Viper.
I mean, it's just looking like pedal to the metal from everyone on the side of the Rattlers. They're just making things happen all around the map. This is going to be the final outer tower falling for them, however. But that doesn't mean very much when there's only one tier 2 left standing for the Vipers.
Yeah, and we do see that right here in terms of the laning phase right now towards the mid game. They're going to be doing a 4-1 right here, and with 4-1 right here, they're going to be pushing through mid, but in the meantime, they're going to have Volibear just constantly push through bot lane, trying to make sure and make some decision making. But we do see that 2 of them are going to be rotating up to catch Gnar right here, and that's
Will he get his base off in time is the question. He's channeling, the Cassiopeia is there. Oh, she's going to be able to stop it. Bone plating's not enough, and he's taking so much damage. He's getting shredded down, melted down by the poison. Cassiopeia claiming that one. I
think one word to describe this game is positioning. Positioning is a major in this game, and it just seems like that Rattlers are taking advantage of poor positioning from Team Viper, and they're just going to constantly keep on constantly capitalize on it. I mean, right here, they're going to be grabbing this top tower right here, but
final
bot lane,
inner
right here, they just grab it really easy from them. You know why? Because of positioning. I mean,
positioning that
right here also
for no reason, but the sheep has been rooted up. He's gonna Gale Force away from the miasma, but that doesn't mean much. The cannon is wailing away on that tower, and it's just looking like a nice easy siege from the side of the Rattlers. They're just clearing waves, pushing things down, and they're just going to be able to take this tower with ease. The cannon is still alive. Here comes the second, and the Volibear just pushing down this top side as well. They're looking to hit. They have the wave, and they're able to claim that up, but Karma rooted up, and she's going to be taken down by the Morgana with that pool. And right now, it's just looking very, very rough. The Shurelius is procced, and the Gnar is going to be taken down before the Narvar can even pop. Here comes the teleport from the Volibear onto this cannon. Baron is not available anymore. Has been used up, but they're pushing waves. They're just looking to take this down as fast as possible. Just punish them even more than they have to. But here comes the Volibear, going to be taken down by Awesome Sheep with that execution damage. But the towers were shut down beforehand, so they weren't able to find any more tower shots. But the Cassiopeia just farming them at Fountain.
Yeah, and look how much Team Rattlers are just in their base right now.
Oh my goodness,
Sheep got rooted up!
taken down, but Echo finding a beautiful triple stun, but is it gonna mean anything? No, it is not. He's gonna be taken out. Petrifying Gaze did go a little wide, but it's on the doesn't matter because she's just doing so much work, so much damage, so much ticking work. And is she gonna be able to find it? The Rupture gonna go wide, and Cho'Gath just gonna be ran down. The Rylai's keeping him stuck in place. The slows are just too much to deal with.
They're just padding their KD right here.
They're padding the damage.
Yeah, they're constantly just sitting at their base, and it just seems like Viper they have no way to make
Oh, the
opportunity.
flank! The Cho'Gath TP for the flank! He's trying his
Pratoga!
hard out. Pratoga,
You have
oh,
flash! You have flash coming
You have
up!
flash! You can do this! No, he cannot. He's gonna be forced to walk away, teleported in. But here comes the Gnar, trying to find the engage. He's gonna maybe find the Sivir. No, he is not, but the wall is gonna keep her in place. And the Cassiopeia is trying to make something happen. But is this gonna be where she falters? It is. Cho'Gath claiming that one with the feast. He is a very hungry dinosaur, and he's finally able to take down that Cassiopeia.
1,000
that just
gold
means
and
the
an extra
dragon.
stack. Oh my gosh, but now
Soul
we do see
points.
them gonna be getting the drag, and that's pretty much soul point for them. Triple Inferno, really good for Team Rattlers, but they were staying in their base for too long. I understand that, but yeah, I mean, they were just staying there, and now they were able to take advantage of it with Team Viper. Gonna be trying to look and getting as much vision as they can, trying to clear any type of ways to look for roams. So, I mean, really well played from Team Viper to capitalize on them for, staying there for too long. And thank God that they did.
Yep, I mean, they did give up the shutdown, and it's the Cassiopeia, even though she did just fall, gave over 1,000 gold, still has a 400 gold shutdown to her name. It's just looking not ideal for the side of the Vipers. They're on the back foot constantly. They're just being pressured by this little snake, doing so much damage that it is insanity.
Yeah,
Void Staff finished as well.
Yeah, Void Staff, really good for the additional magic penetration, and especially with what we see right here from Pratoga. He still does not have Force of Nature. He's actually still only has
He has
Merc
double
Treads.
armor items.
Yeah, he has double armor items into, 3 AP champions? Yeah. I don't think the Sivir, I don't think Butters is my concern. I think it's Hades. I think
Hades is the concern. But the Polymorph going to land on the Gnar. He's going to try and get over. He's able to jump over the wall. But the movement speed from the Volibear able to secure that kill for the Cassiopeia.
Really good bind, and not only that, but they're just going to be ARM and going straight towards
They're
the
looking
base.
for the NARM. Here it comes. They're going for it. They're dashing for it. They're trying to make something happen. And Echo is going to be slowed down by the Cassiopeia, forced to use that rewind a little early. Here comes the Volibear. He's trying to make something happen. He's going to just eat this Echo for breakfast. They're trying to make it happen, but the unstoppable is enough. They're on the Nexus. They're trying to make it happen. Sheep is trying his heart out. Is he going to be able to make it work? No, he is not. There goes that Deadly Flourish. Going to go a little wide. Flash forward, able to claim that kill onto Butters, but that doesn't mean anything when your Nexus is falling.
I mean, really well played from Hades. I mean, excellent when it came to advantage towards their positioning, and not only that, but just them taking advantage of it. I mean, also Awesome Sheep and Rock on Tower tried their best to look for any opportunities towards the boss side, but it was just really hard considering how well Hades was just overpowering Pratoga right there throughout the entire game, and that just influenced the whole map. And I think that was very good from Hades. And not only that, but I'm sure in terms of communication, they were very solid of who to target, and especially Newbie Jung getting some very good binds and finding ways to pick people off one at a time, and really well played from Team Rattlers.
Those binds were insane, but the micro from Hades just DPS'd in like a madman, playing like a magic damage 80 carry, just putting out damage. Those E's were doing so much work, so much tick and damage. And I mean, once again, it was the mid laner who I think made the biggest impact here. And I think it is going to be Hades who deserves MVP.
Yeah, Hades tripled Pratoga's damage. I know Pratoga ain't meant to do damage, but when you are getting tripled on and you're not having your flashes at all, it is really bad. It is very concerning to lose a lot of this. And not only that, but that also helped with getting the Drakes as well with the damage amplifications, but it was just a landslide. I mean, we just saw who was prevailing over in the mid lane and just seeing how much.
Yep. And Pratoga just not able to make it happen on that Cho'Gath mid. It looked okay in the early game. He was able to find some decent trades, but unfortunately just not able to make it work. But about everyone on the side of the Vipers did around 10k damage, right? The Cassiopeia did 42 on her own.
Yeah. It was very insane, and not only that, but I'm very sad about Xiao's build. I mean, he went into Lianji's Anguish, and then he also went for the Void Staff. I mean, no one was really building too much MR, but very unfortunate to see that.
Mm-hmm. And with that, I think player of the game poll is or should. So, yep, it is live. So we are going to go over to a quick break as you guys do take your time and vote for player of the game as we get this thing going and probably end the stream right afterwards. But I think you guys know who deserves player of the game. Don't let me tell you. But with that, we'll just go over to a quick break as we break down the final game and say goodnight to everyone. So take care. We shall be right back.
This lake of fire burns my skin. How could love wear so thin? I'm sinking in the hollow ground. Nothing can stop me wanting you somehow. I won't let it die. I can feel you when you're not around. When the night gets cold, I won't be alone. We won't be I won't let it die. I can feel you when you're not around. When the night gets cold, we won't be alone.
Okay, and it looks like your player of the game is going to be Big Fat Bobkins, aka Sergeant Hades, on the Cassiopeia, going 12-2-7. Talk
I
about
mean-
playing the role of a snake.
Well, I mean, I think I know why he picked Cassiopeia.
Yeah, well, he's a rattler. You have to. There has to be at least one team out of the snakes teams to pick the only snake champion in the game. Like,
Very, very true. And what more can we say about Big Fat Bobkins just popping off? He was just able to move around the map like the snake he was, just slithering into that top lane a little bit, slithering into that bot lane, slithering into the jungle, just making everyone's life a living nightmare. You know, using his damage, he was able to push Ratoga out of lane left, right, and center. The guy wasn't allowed to walk up very much. Just slight misplays are what caused things to happen, and it cascaded out of control that another mid laner was just able to pop off tonight.
Yeah, no, it's quite insane to see it because normally you think Cassiopeia has a horrible early game because that's Cass. Cass has a horrible early game, but if you see her come in late game, she pops off. I guess you can say the same thing about Cho'Gath, but the differences between her and Cho'Gath early games is that one's melee, one's range.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
And
easy,
since they're
it's
both-
easier, yeah. So it's easier
Yeah.
to even if you build MR and build up the armor resist against the Cassiopeia, it just does not matter because she has that conquer on top of that. So she's able to just fight for long drawn out fights, also heal on top of herself. And if you saw his build, he went Leandries into Void Staff into Rylai Scepter, and he had the Seraphim Brace and Zonias on top of that.
Yeah,
So there was
just a
just
lot of
no-
stacking
yeah,
damage.
There's just no way to kill him, and there was no way to out damage him.
Exactly. And overall, just a completely well-played game from the side of the Rattlers, just putting on a clinic here in game number 2. And again, what more can we say? Mid laners are looking spicy this split. And I mean, Butters was able to do something, but she made some things happen in that bot lane, was looking pretty good up until, the Cassiopeia started showing up in his lane.
Only so far an ADC can go. Yes, Sheep was doing well in the bot lane, but if you can't get those early game kills, if you can't get as fed as possible or as early as possible as an ADC, especially when it comes to a 5v5, you're basically just going to be there the entire game trying to deal as much damage as possible without dying.
Yep.
And it's hard to do that when you have someone like Cassiopeia, someone like Morgana, who is just super far ahead to the point where you cannot fight them one-on-one or even in team fights.
Mm-hmm. And quick shout out to Mr. Newbie Jung, just landing some crazy, crazy bindings, making sure that most of the team on the side of the Vipers were just not allowed to move, just able to make some big plays.
It wasn't just his bindings. I don't know if you saw his wave clearing. His wave clearing throughout the entire game was insane. He knew how to use Morgana's wave clear, jungle clear to his advantage. He was able to just clear his entire jungle. I think before even Echo was able to clear one side of his jungle.
Mm-hmm. And that pathing was just incredible. I know Chris made some great comments about it, but it's just a well-played game from the side of the Rattlers. What more can I say? Really, really clean and really, really solid. There were a couple of blunders, but overall, just well played from them. They played a clean game.
It's
They
only
just
week
stuck
one,
to their guns.
So
Mhm.
it's only week
Synergy's
one.
not there yet.
The synergy's not there. As you saw, last split, when Sheep was on the Vipers, as a support, Juan and Sheep didn't really have that synergy yet. But as you saw, they made it to finals. It could
Exactly.
be different. It could be, next thing, Vipers could be, taking down the Rattlers. You just never know.
Exactly.
It's just that's what I love about draft. Don't get me wrong, I love pre-made because I'm part of LES pre-made, but it's so fascinating when you see draft because draft is a bunch of random players getting together, or you have maybe one or two people on your team that you know, but
Exactly.
it's basically a bunch of random players getting together, trying to play in a competitive environment and building that synergy, and you get to see the progress come along throughout the entire split, and it's just the most fascinating thing in the world.
Definitely. Just It's very interesting to see how these teams will fare as time goes on. Synergy builds, trades happen, things happen, right? So we'll see how it plays out. This is only week 1, like you said. This is the start of a great season, and as we saw here, mid laners are a hot commodity.
Yeah, so far, last split it was all about the ADCs. This split is all about the mid lanes. And you have to watch out for the mid lanes. Those mid
Yep.
laners are insane, as you saw from last game with is it Zal? Yeah, Zal Shock on the Echo, and then now you have Sergeant Hades on the Cassiopeia, just showing that they can play champions that can either have horrible early games or horrible, team fighting abilities, but can easily utilize them and take them too far beyond what people imagine they could go.
Yep. So, after the stream tonight, though, we are going to have a little raid on Focus because we want to give our boys at Mint a little bit of support here, give them a little bit of extra love from Legends ourselves, right?
Yes.
So,
and also, do not forget, remember the podcast is this Sunday. Gurf is also, informed me that he is doing the highlights and bloopers clips. So don't forget to put your highlights, your best, pentakills, your best double kills. Sergeant Hades, you have some pretty good kills on the stream. Some of them were insane. So don't forget to clip those. Get them all ready for Gurf to show them on Sunday. But after that, like Assault just said, we are going to host Mint because Mint is in a 5 game series, and they are actually in our, I think, LAS pre-made, right?
Yep, I'm
Yep.
pretty sure.
Yep, they're in the LAS pre-made, I think. If I'm wrong, you can always quote me wrong. But we're gonna get going, and we'll see you all next time.